We are moments away.
It's Brian Johnson.
That's right. Here we go. They're all excited. They're packed out, ready to roll like sardines in here. It's like a sporting event. Good goodness. So apparently any moment now, for those of you who haven't heard, they've elected a new pope. We do not know who it is. He's in the room of tears. So, because that's where he goes. And they puts on the outfit. You know, I was telling Belle, think about this for a second, Kenan. So you're sitting here today, and the three people that are the likely favorites, and we don't know who it is yet, if they walked into most places, you wouldn't recognize them. Wouldn't know who they are. And in the space of about 12 hours, you're going to be one of the top 5 most recognizable human beings on the planet.
Yeah.
And you go from everybody going, hey, look who it is. It's Pietro. What's happening? To like, hey, Father. Hey, Pontiff. Hey, guy. What? I don't know.
Hey, fella.
Sup, dude?
Hey, fella.
Do you still call him like, do you still call him like behind closed doors? Like, do you still call him Pietro? Pete. I'm not calling you, whatever his name is. I don't know what name they're going to go with.
Well, he might have you beheaded if you do that.
No, those old school. That's the old school innocent guy.
That's the old Roman Empire there, Brother Bilal.
Yeah, this is the new one. So we are moments away. I don't know. What vote was this? Were we at 5?
I only knew of 2 votes. So maybe this is the 3rd?
Man, if it was 2 votes, they must have really known who it is. My money, if I was to do this as a degenerate, and I'm not, because that would be horrible.
You're not a degenerate?
I didn't say that. I just said this is too degenerate for me. Would be Pietro if I was to bet my house or maybe other money.
I'm going to have to look up this Pietro fella.
Yeah, so he and I were good friends. He texted me. He wasn't raw dogging anything. He's like, dude, I think I got this in the bag. He's like, hey, I think I got this in the bag. So, but he would be kind of the middle ground because he was Secretary of State, like close confidant.
Oh, Paraline.
Pietro Paraline.
Is that the guy that was his secretary, or the number 2 guy?
That was the number 2 guy. That was the guy who was, the secretary. And apparently he's got a good business acumen, which is the real issue here, too, is there is a lot of issues with, obviously, the stuff that's happened in the church. They've had to sell a lot of stuff, and, they haven't yet gone down to the vault to find out, maybe what some of the Nazis left him. But still, oh, Chad, rat line, I'm just saying. Do you have to wonder what's down there? How much stuff they really have?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. People will be mad, but you guys don't think there's tons of money down there? There's so much money down there. And, the bank. And so this is going to be interesting. So we're waiting. So they've got a shot right on the window. I shouldn't say that, but they do. A live shot. And it is 7:09 in Vatican City. And what I'm amazed is the amount of people there.
Yeah.
Like that to me it's fascinating.
It's like the NFL draft.
You think Roger Goodell's going to come out? And with the first pick in the 2025 Pope draft, the Catholics
Pietro Paraline.
What's the room you said he was in?
The Room of Tears, I think, is where he goes.
Is that where the altar boys hang out?
That is, again, that's Bell. So the hatred needs to go to him.
Dang.
God, it started. That is Bell. I know. I got enough hate yesterday, all right, you guys? I did, all right? Got enough hate. Some of you guys went after me on my social media last night. My uncle is the one who sent you all those horrific messages, so have fun with him. He lives for this stuff. Oh, my Lord. I am fascinated, though, by even today, because, I get up really early in the morning and I'm watching the amount of people that are, like, they travel there for this. That is... name another religious. Well, then, we say that, but think about when everybody makes their trek to Mecca every year. That's a big deal. But they're not going there for a single person. And that's it. But, the trek to Mecca every year, I don't know how many people show up. That's a lot of people. And there are usually several deaths at Mecca because there's so many people. It's usually so hot, and it's...
Yeah.
But this is, you know what? It does. It looks like a soccer game. It looks like European soccer. Everybody's like the opening of the World Cup or the Olympics. And this guy's got to be, think about what you're thinking at this moment. If you were just made the Pope, you're standing out there. You've maybe worked for this your whole life. Although, again, maybe not. But you've worked for this position. You've probably, politicked, as we know they do. And now you're standing there in that moment before where maybe there's only one or two people that your confidants are in the room with you. And you're getting ready to step out to masses of people who are going to give you love like you've never felt before. We don't get that here, but others may. So this is it's a big day. So 1.4 million Catholics in the world. And I mean, it's a massive day for them because I've heard from a lot of people like, I'm so excited. I'm like, really? I didn't even know you were. When people talk about this, I'm like, I didn't even know you were religious. I had no idea that it's for the layman, for us who aren't Catholic. It is interesting to watch. But man, the amount of, look at all those people there. It looks like it's a European soccer game. Like they're all getting ready to cheer and they're waiting. The guy's like, let's wait. Let's give him a little longer. Right? I talked to Axl Rose. He said, come out in 4 hours.
That's worse than what I said.
Oh, goodness.
Well, I guess I was off on my 7 days.
I was off on my 10.
I thought by the weekend. I didn't think by Thursday.
They must have someplace to be tonight.
Well.
Or tomorrow.
They're here we go. Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is, Chad wins. It's that guy. I wouldn't know what they look like. Is it Peeling? Parolin?
No, this fellow's just reading something.
No, Cardinal Happus Papam? I don't know. Habemus?
Habemus Papam. Papam. Hey, Pam.
With the first pick.
Yeah, this is the guy announcing who the Pope is, I guess.
You want to go to the TV?
Yeah, let's pull up the TV. Let's hear what he's saying.
Suspense.
Annuncio vobis gaudium magnum. Habemus papam. Habemus papam.
That means we have a Pope. Papus Papam, we have a Pope.
Eminentissimum, ac reverendissimum Dominum, Dominum Robertum Franciscum.
Oh, first American Pope? What?
Cardinalem Prevost.
He's chosen the name.
Qui sibi nomen imposuit.
First American Pope in history.
Quartum.
Chicago-born, has been elected the 267th Pope.
Really?
Baby, America wins again! Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen.
So the Pope is Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, who's taken the name of Leo XIV.
Oh,
Pope
good.
Leo
We got a Leo in there.
Cardinal Prevost is an American, and he spent most of his ministry in Latin America and in Peru and also in Paraguay. And he's an Augustinian father. He was the provincial in Latin America and then became the Bishop of Chiclayo in Peru. And he then is also, he became the Superior General of the Augustinian Fathers as well. He's now he's been the prefect of the dicastery for bishops.
We see the cardinal electors, they're appearing on the balcony there as well, with this joy and their smiles on their face.
A great joy indeed, and Well, it wasn't one of those popular so to say.
Wow.
That's a great job.
So if you guys are just joining the program, for the first time in
from
history,
Yes.
Illinois.
267th Pope is an American. He's
And American.
69,
I think,
born in
that's a
Chicago.
historic moment. For sure.
Spent many years working in Peru.
Young, but not
And you
too
can see
young.
all
Young,
the
but
kind of
not
the
too
different
young.
balconies there for our radio
Right?
listeners who may
So
not be able to
this
see this, of course,
is,
but,
he took the name Leo.
They're
Good name
appearing
to
on
have.
all the balconies to the left and right of the central balcony there. All of
He'd be the first American
clearly
Pope.
standing out with their,
He led the Vatican
investments
office
and
for bishop
smiles
appointments. And
Waiting to again for
Father
all of
Leo
us to
DiCaprio.
greet this new Pope
he
as
probably
well,
likes De Beers.
which now we know his name.
Wow. Who had that on the bingo card?
Robert Francis Prevost, Augustinian,
Woo!
and has served as prefect of the dicastery for bishops.
So breaking news. If you're just joining the
Native of
program today,
Chicago,
we have a new
Illinois,
Pope.
in the United
And for the
States.
first time ever, it is an American. Father, now he'll be
And so
Leo.
as we said before, you saw all the flags and everything out in the square, and now all the Americans are holding their flags.
This is crazy. I did not expect an American.
I didn't either.
I had nowhere near.
It's almost been tradition that it not be American.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
like Trump's going to go, let me tell you what happened here. I called him last night and I said, Pope guys,
Evangelization. mission,
Bob.
that's right.
the priority.
Any
Yeah.
bets on whether he's a Trump supporter?
oh,
So you can see still the.
I don't know.
They're like little
Yeah, the
pockets
smoke
around
would have been
where the
orange if he
cardinals are
wasn't.
standing on the balconies.
so he takes the name
And
Pope
from our
Leo
Vati drone
the
footage,
14th.
and seeing it from above there, it's a
Fact that
a unique.
No, that's
view,
kind of odd, but still good for
perched
him.
above, in front
And
of the,
again,
facade
first time
and
ever,
looking
an
down
American
at the
Pope.
visor on the
We did not see that. He wasn't even in the top
awaiting
10
now,
of people.
as the new Pope.
So-
Yeah, he was a
as we
long
mentioned
shot
there.
at best.
Yeah,
Cardinal Robert
I mean,
Francis
this is crazy.
Prevost.
We're going to cover more of this. We got a lot of stuff to get today,
And
but
Pope
obviously
Leo.
this is even a bigger deal. It was a big deal anyways, all joking aside, but the fact that we have an American Pope, kind of something new. Crazy sauce indeed. Reach out to us across all of our social media, your love and your hate. It's good talking to all of you. How do you feel if you're some of these other guys, right? Like, it's like if you're up for an Academy Award when you're 24 and you don't get it, you're up for Pope now and you're 77, you probably just lost the plot.
Yeah, you're not going to get a second chance.
Because this guy's 69. So, on average, if he might have another decade plus in him as the Pope. This is going to be crazy, and it's going to be neat because you think he's got an accent like De Beers?
So this is just another white guy, right?
Yeah.
This is another white guy. It's another name of my band, another white guy.
You had to go there, didn't you?
Everything's
brother?
I'm
about
asking
race with you.
questions.
All right, we're coming back. A lot of stuff to get to. It is the Chad Benson Show. As we're no longer on Pope watch, we got a Pope, everybody. USA, USA, USA. It's the Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 99.7. Rough Greens, RUFFgreens.com. Vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega 369. All of this incredible stuff packed into a supplement that is awesome. Great for your dog. How about this, kids? Take the 90-day challenge, but I'm going to make sure they get you a $20 value bag. It's a free bag. Costs $20. All they ask you to do is cover the cost of shipping. They'll send it right to you. Put them to the test. And then take the 90-day challenge. Over the next 90 days, your dog will go from, especially if your dog's older, going to go from maybe a little bit slower to moving around a lot better. Energy levels through the roof. Better coat, more shiny, not a lot of shedding going on, and digestive tract, heart health, immunity, all boom. Amazing. Try it now. 1 scoop a day with Rough Greens. You love your animals like I love mine. Try it now. Go to roughgreens.com, RUFFgreens.com/Chad. Use code Chad. Roughgreens.com/Chad.
We have a new pope. He will be called Pope Leo XIV. He's the first American ever to be elected pope. We'll tell you more about it coming up at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Man. Let us know what you think about that. You can hit us up across all the social media. You can hit me up, too, at Chad Benson Show.
It's a very American name, too, Leo.
Yeah, it is. That's where he went with. Leo. Because Todd wasn't available. What's up, Father Todd? Pope Todd. Oh, here he comes. He's cruising on out now, I guess. Well, they're bringing something out. There's a lot of pomp and circumstance.
There he is. There he is, yeah.
Yep, here he comes, ladies and gentlemen.
69 years old.
Oh, he looks like he's got the part. He's like, what do you guys think? You guys thought I'd be nothing. Man, let's flip it up here. Let's hear what the crowd is saying.
Of the Basilica.
Very special moment.
Very special moment.
And here
he is.
There he is, Cardinal.
And the applause going up, the greeting, the waving,
Big
the
smiles.
smiles.
How amazing.
How amazing.
And Dr. Liz was also talking about the symbolism of the red that he's wearing. You know, it is a sacrificial role, and that is the symbol of the cloth that he's wearing right now.
And we see this beautiful close-up view from the side there at the same level as the loggia. Pope Leo XIV.
Pope Leo XIV.
Amazing. Smiling.
A smiling
And
Pope, yes.
you can see who wouldn't be taken by the moment. And
I think going
overcome
through
with
his
emotion.
mind, the weight of
Yeah.
this responsibility.
Oh, yeah. You can see it on his face.
You can see it on his face.
Amazing.
After this, you're never the same person.
No.
And we're hearing the bands below, the mutual salute of the anthems, the hymns, Vatican hymn and the Italian national anthem, as we do traditionally at the Easter and Christmas, as we've mentioned.
And after this, now Pope Leo XIV, he will give a greeting and impart his first apostolic blessing, the Urbi et Orbi, to the city and to the whole world.
So that blessing extends to everyone who is watching, everyone who is listening, your family, wherever you are. It's a great moment to prepare ourselves for this first.
You guys are just joining us. We have a new pope. It is an American from Chicago. He's 69. He's chosen the name Leo XIV, 267th pope, and it's the first American pope, which the American pope sounds like something's going to be on Netflix soon. The American Pope. Here's a question, guys. I know that this is about sacrifice and all that stuff, but it's hard not to soak that kind of energy in, even if, it's for you. I mean, that's hard not to. I mean, these people are going crazy.
This is a big deal.
It is.
To these folks, man. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal globally, but think about it, it's 1.4 billion people that are Catholic. And it is a massive deal. You've got a new leader now. Now, here he goes. Let's see what his Latin's like.
La pace sia con tutti voi. La pace sia con tutti voi. Fratelli, sorelle carissimi, questo è il primo saluto del Cristo risorto, il buon pastore che ha dato la vita per il gregge di Dio. Anch'io vorrei che questo saluto di pace entrasse nel vostro cuore, raggiungesse le vostre famiglie, a tutte le persone, ovunque siano, a tutti i popoli, a tutta la terra. La pace sia con voi.
We are listening to the first address from the new Pope. the first American
We're just
pope
hearing
ever.
the first words of Pope Leo XIV. As he continues, we'll provide a summary here in just a moment as we listen to his words. He's asked everyone to, brothers,
Questa è la pace di Cristo risorto.
this is the peace
Una
of the risen
pace
Christ.
disarmata e una pace disarmante.
Peace that
Umile
is
e
disarming and
perseverante.
humble and persevering.
Proviene da Dio.
It comes from
Dio
God.
che ci ama a tutti.
God who loves all of us
Incondizionalmente.
without any limits and conditions.
Ancora conserviamo nei nostri orecchi
And
quella voce debole ma sempre
we still have
coraggiosa
the sound
di
in our
Papa
ears of that,
Francesco
the weak
che
voice of Pope
benediva
Francis,
Roma.
who was blessing Rome here.
So we are watching some of this. We're going to come
We have
back to
that
it. Ken's
fresh
got the
in our
breaking
minds,
news.
in our hearts,
We've got
in our
the
ears,
latest
hearing his
on the new pope, the first ever American pope. Some of you are already asking what's his political views like, because is he a centrist? Is he conservative? Is to the left? I've got some of those answers for you. The first ever USA American pope, Pope Leo XIV, is addressing the crowd now. We got more straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Checking driving around Nashville here for you drivers. Looks like we've got a crash reported 40 westbound. This is going to be in New Middleton, Tennessee, exit 254. That's going to be right there at Alexandria. So if you're headed that way, get ready for a 23-minute delay, 40 westbound right before Alexandria. And as you just heard Chad mention, we have a new pope.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Mike Dubusky. For the first time in history, an American will lead the Catholic Church. Just announced from the Vatican, Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost will be the next pope. Born in 1955 and from Chicago, he's chosen the name Leo XIV. The thousands packed into St. Peter's Square now, anxiously awaiting when he will address them from the balcony. Here is Father John Wout with what is expected to happen next.
When the Pope will appear on the what's called the loggia of St. Peter's, which is right on top of a relief that shows Jesus Christ giving the keys that he promised to Peter, and we're witnessing that transfer, not from Christ to Peter, but from one pope to the next.
The conclave to elect the 267th pope ended after the second day of voting, marking one of the shortest conclaves in history. You're listening to ABC News.
Stay with Super Talk 99.7 WTN for continuing coverage. President Trump says we have a new trade deal with the UK.
The final details are being written up in the coming weeks. We'll have it all very conclusive, but the actual deal is a very conclusive one. We think just about everything's been approved.
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says U.S. farmers going to be busy.
We've opened up new market access, ethanol, beef, machinery, all the agricultural products. They've agreed to open their markets, and that will add $5 billion of opportunity to American exporters.
And real quick, weather-wise, looks like the National Weather Service has just put everybody in Middle Tennessee under a severe thunderstorm watch until 8 o'clock tonight. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
From the Beacon Capital Management Weather Center.
Strong storms possible this afternoon and this evening. I'm WSMV4 First Alert Meteorologist Stefano DiPietro. Keep the umbrella handy, keep an eye to the sky, and stay weather ready. Temperatures will top off in the 70s today. Between 1 o'clock this afternoon and 9 o'clock this evening, we'll have a few showers and thunderstorms fire up across the mid-state. Any thunderstorm could produce heavy downpours, gusty winds, potentially even some large hail. Rain will eventually taper off tonight through our day tomorrow, then a mostly dry weekend ahead of us across the mid-state.
All right. Speaking capital management, as a retirement-ready toolkit for you, comes to things in the world and how things can affect your money, whether it be tariffs, the potential for recession. You want to know that you're protected. You want to know that there's somebody out there who has your back, and Beacon has it from start to finish, too. We're talking about your retirement, not just the dollars and cents, but the things that happen in retirement that you don't even think about. Little things like, I don't know, estate planning, tax planning, and yes, even healthcare. So Beacon's committed to be your full-service investment advisor. So call them today. Get a free retirement-ready toolkit. It's not going to cost you anything. There's no pressure, no obligation, and no cost. You call 615-488-9303, 615-488-9303. They're going to get it out to you. It's got a Money Enough for Life book, a retirement planning checklist, and a Maximizing Your Retirement Income white paper. Call Beacon today and let them take the pressure and the stress off of you so you can enjoy that retirement. 615-488-9303 or online at AskBeaconNow.com. Breaking news. First American Pope, Leo XIV. He's addressing the world as we speak. Born in Chicago, educated at Villanova. He is seen as a centrist. He has a few progressive views, well, progressive in for the Catholics, but he is very much a centrist in a lot of his stuff. And I don't know if it was... to be honest, I don't know how they chose that. I thought they were, we thought they were all going to go a lot more left than this guy. But maybe they thought, you know what, we need, let's throw America one, right? Let's do this. Like America's ready for it. We were just talking off the air. How long until Trump?
So why do they keep mentioning Peru?
He was, that was a place he spent a lot of time. In Peru, he
said he had a diocese there.
Yeah, he ran a diocese. So, he went there as he grew, and then he ran a diocese there, and then he was eventually, after a few other things, he was named the guy that kind of like went out and picked two of them.
But as a cardinal, he worked in Chicago, right?
Chicago.
Okay.
Chicago. Do you think Dolan is not thrilled by this? Man, Dolan, that guy was a cardinal forever. Never had a shot.
Hey, you got to politic your way in.
So... Speaking Latin, as you do, very good language, very wide range of I don't know. The neat thing is him now going to have the opportunity to do English. He speaks Spanish, obviously. He's, in Latin, is pretty much nearly, You can pick
And
up
he was
one.
just
you do the
talking
other.
Italian, too.
Oh, see, Italian. Well, again, the Latin language is like you go through the French. It's the Romantic language. Look at all the Americans. How stoked are they? Trump's like, I told you guys. I want to congratulate my friend Bob. Good friends.
I got him over the line.
Reverend Mark R. Francis, a former classmate of Cardinal Prevost, who is now the Pope, said he knows Bob believes that everybody has a right and a duty to express themselves in the church. He is not for women being ordained. But he is he's expressed less welcoming views than Francis when it comes to the LGBTQ plus, but not as conservative as many others thought they may have gone. While praised in Peru for supporting Venezuelan immigrants and visiting far-flung communities, the cardinal has drawn criticism over his dealings with priests accused of sexual abuse. So that's not a good thing. So we're going to find out, though. He was not one of the favorites. He was the favorites of the Americans that were potentially could have been it. And they had done some articles from him, but as far as the favorites, he wasn't. So let's see here. There's a lot of people there. There's a ton of people at this. It's crazy how many people are there. And I wonder how many of them, because, you know, like if you're in Italy and you're on vacation, you're going to go by the Vatican. It's cool. It's amazing to see. You're like, wow, look at all this wealth and opulence, and they got a wall around it. But how many people flew there for this alone? That's interesting. I like to find that out. His parents were Peruvian, and yeah. Dude doesn't believe in punishment for priests who sexually abuse little boys. Oh, he
does not?
No, that's what some people are saying. So we're going to find out. Pope made in America. MAGA Pope. So, yeah, there he goes. Off he heads now. Now what, guys? I don't know. Take you to your room? Well, I just got this gig, man. I want to take it out for a ride. Where's the Pope Mobile? Where is it? Apparently, he's very, how should I say this? Quiet, not as, and then we were listening to people earlier talk about how they say that, you know, the whole thing of heavy is the crown, but that many people are very introverted who get this, and somehow it's like they become somebody else. I don't know if this is going to be that guy, but the 69-year-old is now the Pope for the world. Woo. Speaking of stuff and change, all right, guys, it's time to get to some serious stuff today. And this is serious. One thing we don't like in our world is change. If you guys don't know that, you're fooling yourself. Here's something that's changing. Be prepared. It's going to happen.
For Netflix's 300 million plus members, the streamer's homepage is as familiar as that iconic tone. But now, its classic interface is getting an overhaul.
What led you to this decision? Because some people would say, why fix what's not broken?
We thought we really need a UI that'll make it easier for our members to find the shows that they want.
Netflix CEO Greg Peters gave us an exclusive peek at the new features, like preview blurbs for each show and personalized badges to guide your choices.
You really care about awards. You might get an Emmy winner award here badge.
I've watched every season of Bridgerton, so hey, here's an alert, another season coming.
So there's that. And I was talking to people about, because I find this stuff interesting because my computer, I had to do an update because I got this new computer, and I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Apparently, a lot of these things want updates every 5 minutes. It's like I just go from update to update. And every time I get something I like, it changes. And I'm sitting here going, you know what? More people are going to be affected by this in the next 2 weeks outside of a nuclear war with India, which would be, that would affect us all, but I don't think it's going to happen. when they start moving stuff around. They got some cool stuff too, but still.
He says the search tool is also new. Move from the left side to the top. It's more sophisticated, using AI to curate content just for you.
You say, like, I'd like something that's uplifting, that's a period piece, that involves these elements, and then we can respond with titles that, that work for you in that moment.
Peter says while the new interface will roll out over the next few weeks, an upgrade of another popular feature, subtitles, just debuted, allowing viewers to choose between captioning for dialogue with background sounds or just dialogue alone.
How often are your users activating the subtitle feature?
Maybe surprisingly, around half of the hours that are viewed on Netflix are viewed with subtitles or with closed captioning. So it's why we invested in it a lot.
Do you use closed? I use subtitles. Well, I use the closed captioning stuff.
I do too, depending on what else I have going. Like if I'm watching something else at the same time or I'm on the phone while I'm watching something, I turn the closed caption on just to make it easier to keep up with it.
We've been watching Mobland. If you guys know what Mobland is, that is...
Tom Hardy.
Have you seen it?
Yep.
It's incredible.
I love it.
It is incredible. My wife, she doesn't understand half the things the English are saying and the Irish.
Oh, yeah.
Right. She's like, you better I don't know what they're saying. So that was isn't it a great show?
It's great.
Are you having to translate for her?
Yeah. Well, if there's any Scottish people, I have to translate all the time. But it is, but you know what? The new thing, though, this is what's interesting about the new thing, guys, is you can have the subtitles now or, the closed captioning without the sound behind it. So if there's a fight, you could just get their dialogue, which is kind of cool. So you'd still hear them, but not the other stuff as well. More.
In an economy where most streamers are struggling, Netflix revenue is up 13%. The company investing $18 billion this year in new content, funded in part by those subscription price hikes that have left some consumers fuming.
Netflix is really out here doing their customers dirty and just being greedy.
Given the stress the economy is putting on so many people, are you comfortable holding prices where they are now for the foreseeable future?
Our job is to keep trying to work to make the service better and then hear from members when, that right moment to make a price change would be. So we're not changing anything in that regard.
Don't change a thing. They make their most money, though, off of something I think most people would be surprised by. But they've got to. Here's the challenge in something like this, and I don't know if you guys understand this, but I get frustrated. And like you've watched the first 6 episodes of Mobland, right, Ken?
Yep.
Amazing. I didn't know how many episodes there were, and I'm like, you can't end it like this.
Yeah, at first I thought there were only 4.
Yeah. So, but there's 10. The other 4 are going to be released in June. The problem is, I love the show. You know when I'll probably see it after that? 2026 or 27. By then, I've moved on. Like what's this? Stranger Things. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you guys know. Millie Bobby Brown is a grown-ass woman.
Yeah, married.
Grown-ass woman.
Married. And Millie, I'm going to tell you this right now. Stop whining about how you're being sexualized when all I do is see your butt in a bikini all day. But you start filming this when they're 13, and they'll do 10 episodes, and like the next one we're going to shoot is 36 months from now. Well, I've moved on. That was the one thing of the consistency of corporate television is you knew, okay, there's going to be, unless they canceled it, in January, there's going to be new episodes. Where this, I have no idea when there's going to be episodes. And that's the frustrating part for a lot of people because I get excited. And I know that is it Squid Games? Is that the game, the show? They didn't think it was going to be a big hit and it became massive. So they capitalized when they did the second season. They pulled a Back to the Future 2 and 3 and filmed them together. So you have season 2 and 3 together so they could roll it out because you got to strike while the iron's hot.
Despite all the success, Netflix has had its stumbles. Technical glitches during live events, enraging audiences, and viewer backlash to hype shows like Meghan Markle's With Love, Meghan.
Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box and loves it.
It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. I'm Sussex now.
It's like really bad.
She's the worst.
I know that Netflix is just trying to recoup the money with hate watching.
Do you all pay attention to the way fans react on social media?
Really, at the end of the day, we're looking at what is the viewing behavior? Because that's the thing that matters the most. Are we satisfying viewers and are they watching?
As for those prices, which Netflix says are holding steady for now, half of its new subscribers sign up for the cheaper plan with ads, and that actually makes more revenue than the higher priced no ad tier for the company. So it's become a win-win for both Netflix and subscribers.
So be prepared. That's coming to you soon and will frustrate you for several days, as things like this tend to do. For you guys who are just tuning in, we have a new pope. It's the first ever American pope, made in America pope. We're onshoring Catholicism all over again. Any new? Has Trump sent out anything? Has he truthed anything yet? We got to check that out. But his name is Robert Prevost. I believe he's from Illinois, just outside of Chicago. 69 years old, went to Villanova, seen as a centrist. Some of you have chimed in and said already started talking about how horrible he is. So there's that. Welcome to the world of social media. And but he is seen as a centrist compared to what the last pope was. Francis was seen far more left-leaning and very popular amongst all. I know Chris and I were talking about it. Well, amongst the conservative older church, Francis wasn't popular. Amongst the world, that guy was very popular. And this new guy, he's taking the name Leo the 14th. So we got an American pope, first one ever, and first one born here in North America. Because somebody tried to tell Bell and I, this is not the first American pope. No, this is the first American pope, if you know what I mean.
Well, he was trying to argue semantics that Argentina is in South America, but we're talking about countries, not
talking
regions.
about America. First USA pope. How's that? Born and raised in the United States of America. Coming up, a lot more stuff to get to. Yes, we'll find out more about the Pope, I am sure. A lot of you chiming in about that. This is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Birch, gold. Times of uncertainty, gold. Especially when it comes to what you have in your investments, your savings. Diversification is key. You've worked so hard for what you have. Why not make sure you do everything you can to keep it? And gold will help you with that. The Rio Reset. Everybody's talking about this. BRICS getting together, right? They're going to be down to Rio. And you got all these groups. And are they going to get away from the dollar because they'd like to hammer the dollar? Well, just in case something like that happens, what are you going to do to protect yourself? Precious metals is the perfect way to do it. Birch is going to help you with that. Text the word Benson now to 989898. Get a free guide to gold. They're going to send it out to you. Why precious metals? What you can do when it comes to moving your savings over into a metals-backed IRA. And why, in the time of uncertainty, gold has always been there. No matter what year it is, gold's always been there. Text the word now, Benson, to 989898 today to get your free info kit from my gold company, Birch Gold. Wellness Institute of Nashville. You can go to painisbad.com and check it out right now in honor of the 47th president. That'd be Trump. There's 47% off non-surgical spinal decompression. So how does that work, right? The non-surgical side of stuff. Well, the spinal decompression machine heals the disc, opens the disc so that blood nutrients get into that area, heal the spine, disc, and nerve. Then do the same thing with knee decompression. But this is incredible. So you go in and see Dr. Mitchell. They sit down with you, and the first thing they're going to do is they're going to give you a consultation. Take some x-rays, bring your MRI if you have it, and maybe you've had a nightmare for years, and you're just, this is the Hail Mary, or maybe you just want to make sure your back is feeling better because it's beautiful outside. You want to be a part of it. They're going to build you a plan that's right for you so you can, as I like to say, get your back. And that's what I love about the wellness. Call them today, 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009, or check them out online at painisbad.com.
Got a new pope, and there's more reaction from the Metro Council over ICE deportations. These stories and more at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Guys, we tell you this all the time. Nature will mess you up.
An urgent warning from Yellowstone National Park after a visitor was gored by a bison this week. Authorities say the 47-year-old man who was visiting from Florida suffered only minor injuries.
Yeah, was within 40 feet of them? Again, we have to remind you, and they're posting today pictures all over the web of the giant signs that say, don't pet these things. Okay? I'm
and they're fast too.
Yeah. And I don't think if you've never seen one, next time you go to, a zoo, just if there's a buffalo, just take a look. Now put some more meat on that thing. Okay? That's what that thing is. And it doesn't want to be your friend. It doesn't.
Wants you to leave it alone.
Yes. It's just, what was it, a few years ago, that lady was hilariously, of course, again, and I don't begrudge, I don't want people to get hurt, and you guys can be mad at me when I say stuff like this, but you're an idiot if you think you can pet an animal like that, okay? We all good with this? Right? We're all good?
If you get away with it, you're lucky. And if you get gored like this guy did, then yeah, kind of had it coming.
And he was from Florida. Like there was a bear killed a man and a dog the other day in Florida. And this, by the way, we'll talk a little bit later about the alligator attack because more and more are coming out about it. I'm still fascinated by hey, here's a canoe we bought at REI. I got some kind of insurance. And a dock, I've set up a business, have fun. That'll be $48.
And don't pet the alligators.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Will alligators tip these things over? It's possible. That's part of the fun. It's not part of the fun. It's not. So we have to remind you here, we do these things for nature to tell you guys this stuff because we want you to be safe if you go to Yellowstone. We don't want you to pet anything. Okay? I know we shouldn't have to say that. I almost wish they would take the signs down. Don't you?
Then maybe people wouldn't.
Why, just to clean the gene pool out?
Well, yeah. Why not? It's like, take off the thing that says don't eat the cap or don't eat the detergent or don't, take all of those things off. What's the new thing kids are doing now? They're sticking paper clips inside the Google port of their Chromebooks to see what happens. As a kid, I did stupid stuff too, but you know what? None of them involved wild animals. Not one. Bison says, get off my lawn. I've raised bison for 40 years. I love hearing about the moron at Yellowstone every year. It's Darwin season.
Man, I almost accidentally leaned on one. I got out of the car. I was going to take a picture of the scenery, and I swear I thought it was just one of the boulders that are kind of along the park road. And so I'm going over there, and I'm still looking at the scenery, and I'm like going to set something down, fortunately, I looked. I was about to lean on a buffalo that was just laying there.
Whoa.
And I got up in a hurry.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just sitting there chewing his cud. But had I touched him, they can't see.
No.
Had I touched him, that could have been a bad deal.
But they also run at storms.
Yeah.
Because they know that if they run at the storms, they're going to get through it quicker. Is that the thing? That's the kind of animal you're dealing with. And I wish they'd take the signs down. I think at this point in time, it's okay. You know what? You guys recognize. If you're in your house or you're nowhere near one and one comes out of nowhere, okay. That we had a lady in Arizona. We had a lady in Arizona was visiting, I think, Yellowstone last year, the year before last. And her and her husband were nowhere near the herds or anything. They had rented like an Airbnb thing that they have out there. And she got just mauled almost to death. And it came up on the porch.
Ooh.
You weren't trying to pet it.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, it just it paid you a visit.
Somebody said, thought a buffalo was a rock? What were you smoking?
No, I wasn't smoking anything. I wasn't paying attention. And there are these huge boulders on some roads in the park that kind of separate you from the grasslands.
Come on, tell the
I just thought it was another boulder.
When you realized what it was, you about jumped out of your skin, didn't you?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. I ran back to the car.
Man, that is... We might not have you here.
He may not have had.
My goodness me. Coming up, we've got a new pope. Ken's going to break the news for you. If you guys don't know, you're going to find out straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
One o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We are under a severe thunderstorm watch, Middle Tennessee. That's going to be until 8 o'clock tonight. So any storms that might pop up between now and 8 will have the potential of going severe. It looks like the main impacts, if this happens, will be large hail and gusty winds. Most of Middle Tennessee, I'm just going to go ahead and say all of Middle Tennessee, maybe outside of Clarksville, is under a level 2 out of 5 risk.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Mike Dubusky. For the first time in history, an American will lead the Catholic Church. Just announced from the Vatican, Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost will be the next pope. Born in 1955 and from Chicago, he's chosen the name Leo XIV. The thousands packed into St. Peter's Square now, anxiously awaiting when he will address them from the balcony. Here is Father John Wout with what is expected to happen next.
When the Pope will appear on what's called the loggia of St. Peter's, which is right on top of a relief that shows Jesus Christ giving the keys that he promised to Peter, and we're witnessing that transfer, not from Christ to Peter, but from one pope to the next.
The conclave to elect the 267th pope ended after the second day of voting, marking one of the shortest conclaves in history. You're listening to ABC News.
Right now in Nashville, we got more reaction to the ICE deportations. Some Metro Council members say the Department of Emergency Communications failed to notify the mayor when ICE called to request Metro police patrols in case families got angry over deportations. The Tennessean says Mayor O'Connell issued that executive order in January of 2024, requiring the Department of Emergency Communications to notify the mayor's office. But the director said they don't have that protocol in place, but they need to. The Metro Council members at that meeting called for creating a community safety plan within the next 30 days. And President Trump says the UK has agreed to a new trade deal. He says the U.S. will lower the tariff rate on British auto exports and eliminate it for steel and aluminum.
They'll also be fast-tracking American goods through their customs process, so our exports go to a very, very quick form of approval, and There won't be any red tape.
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick was in the Oval Office with Trump.
We still have our 10% tariff on, which will produce $6 billion of revenue for the United States. So the idea was, how do they keep their jobs, protect their economy, and do the best for their people while opening the market for us?
Now, the final details still unknown. The U.S. has had a trade surplus with the U.K. in recent years. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
USA, USA, USA,
There had been so much talk about whether or not there was a slim possibility that there would be an American Pope, one from the United States. He went to college at Villanova, studied mathematics. Italian media has referred to him as the least American of the Americans because of his quiet, humble way.
Yeah, because the other Americans are always drunk and breaking stuff, fighting. So the new pope is named Leo XIV. That's the name. That's the Pope name he took. And by the way, everybody wants. Hey, Bell, can we get a ruling? How do you spell Popin?
I'm spelling it with the E, so Popeing.
Okay, so because Popin ain't easy, as we know, but now Popin's American, and lot of already, guys. Can I just say this? Already on a lot of the hardcore MAGA folks are destroying this guy. It's already happened.
Of course. Why get behind the curve?
So I know. I didn't know that. So you guys want to know some of the stuff that he's retweeted? Because they already got that out. First of all, why does he have a tweet?
Because it's 2025.
You're in Peru. Right? He retweeted Bishop Michael Olson. This was in May of 20. I join my voice in prayers to those of my brother bishops that we might work hard to end racism in our hearts and in society. May God give comfort to the family of #George Floyd in this time of anguish. So he retweeted Rocco Palmo. That is September of 17, saying Trump's bad hombres lines fuels racism and nativism. Cali bishops send preemptive blasts on DACA repeal. He retweeted Sister Helen Prigine. I stand with #Dreamers, and all people are working toward an immigration system that is fair, just, and moral.
We can't have fair, just, and moral.
Nope.
What do you think?
Want none of that right there. This just less than a month ago, as Trump and Bukele use it, Oval Office feds illicit deportation of U.S. residents, once an undocumented Salvadorian himself, now D.C. Something or other. Do you not see the suffering? ? Is your conscience not disturbed? How can you stay quiet? From Rocco Palmo. He retweeted that. So people already going after him.
Who's Rocco Palmo?
It looks like it's another cardinal.
Oh.
So these are people he's retweeted.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
And
Rocco Palmo.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Rocco Palmo.
Rocco Palmo.
Lots. You know what? If you guys have, I always tell everybody, whatever video or tweet, go look at the comments are the best thing.
Yeah.
Right. And getting worse by the minute, Catholics. Sadly, the Catholic Church has fallen to wokeism again. It won't survive another 20 years. Not another demon pope. He's the Antichrist, man. A lot of Antichrist. A lot of that. Lots of that.
Seems like that comes up with every pope.
Yeah, yeah. Another gay, anti-white globalist. Guy's been pope for a minute.
How is he anti-white?
You know what, dude? I don't even know. So, and by the way, here's the other good. You guys are going to love this. They've got pictures of, and people are trying to pass this off as real, like these two, it looks like it was taken in the 70s, who were moving a box out of like one of the offices that he was at part of his, wherever he was in Peru. And they're like, oh, like this happened yesterday. This must be all the files where the bodies are buried. Oh, man. So, well, this is interesting. This is interesting for sure. I can't. Woke Pope. That's his new name. Woke Pope. Woke Pope. Not the American Pope. The woke Pope. I don't know. All I know is he's a centrist. He doesn't go to the left the way. He's got some issues people have had. Look, I think at this point in time, anybody in that, and I think you guys agree, like in that 65, even 60 up to the 75, they've all dealt with some sort of issues inside the church when it comes to the abuse cases. Yeah. So if and they weren't going to go out and find somebody who was 37 to be the Pope. That wasn't going to happen. So, you know, this is the guy they went with, and he seems to be kind of a centrist. He has a few progressive ideas, but in some of the areas, the LGBTQ, he's been a little bit harsher there. Doesn't think women should be ordained. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see. And we'll see if, man, some of the stuff that they've put out there. Here's some of the stuff. J.D. Vance is wrong. Jesus doesn't ask us to rank our love for others. That's what he apparently tweeted out, but I don't know if that's real or not. Cardinal Dolan, why Trump's anti-immigrant rhetoric is so problematic. Apparently he retweeted this. Again, but I don't know if those things are real.
Yeah.
That's the other part of it. Now, the comments are real from the people who already don't like woke Pope.
Yeah. So are popes, are cardinals even tweeting?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I guess they had to take their phones, didn't they, whenever they went into the conclave?
Well, yeah, they had to go raw dogging it.
Raw dog.
So that was still the funniest thing. He's another Muppet.
I wonder if he got to vote for himself.
I don't know. Okay, Pope. So this is what some people are saying with the Popin. Maybe this one. P-O-P-E apostrophe N.
No, I'm not spelling it.
He's not spelling it.
Spell it the way I want.
Young American Pope to go hard against Trump. Young American. Wouldn't you? 69. Woo, young American.
That kid.
That guy. He's still got his hips. So we'll see already. The woke Pope. The wope.
The wope.
Jason, I'm not saying that on the air, right? People already get mad enough all the time at me. I'm not saying that. If you're not Catholic nor practice it, who cares? After this week, you rarely hear his name again. I think you're wrong about that. The Pope has a lot of influence. 1.4 billion people is now who he leads. So, and the politics of Popin is much stronger than it's maybe ever been.
There's a reason heads of state treat him like a fellow head of state. One, because he is, and two, because he has so much influence.
Yeah, he's got a ton of influence.
Well, he is the closest thing to God. He is right in between God and about 1.4 billion Catholics.
That's right. That is it.
Ken opened a box of worms now.
Yeah, I know. Don't get mad at us, right? None of us here are...
That was Ken Weaver.
Yeah, Ken Weaver, as we all know, is Hindu.
I'm just saying, man. Yeah. I mean, he's supposed to be like...
He's supposed to be basically the, like you said, in between.
You said Ken's a Hindu?
I was joking. Obviously, he's not a Hindu.
Doesn't like a good steak?
Loves a good steak. By the way, boys, I was telling Belle, we've got, maybe you guys will figure this out, but we've got some Omaha steaks coming to us soon.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Everybody's getting fillets.
Yes, baby.
I denounce Hinduism.
Can't they pick a young one? No, because they want shorter papacy just in case things start to go a little south. I don't know what the call. Did they recall him? Do they have that?
I don't think that has happened. That certainly has not happened in the modern era.
I know how to fix this. Put him on the balcony. I'll fix this for you. So
I mean, that's why it was such a big deal when what's his face, the guy from Germany, resigned, as it just had never happened.
What's his name? Ratzenberger.
Ratzenberger.
He resigned.
Yeah, he resigned and still lives in the Vatican. But that had never happened in the modern era of the Catholic Church.
No, man, that's weird. Just like the dude who had your job lives next door to you every day and just kind of looks out there and goes, and just turns around and walks back. Yeah, giving up power like that is, I mean, he was struggling, but they're all struggling because they're old.
Yeah.
They're old. So there you guys go, kids. We've got it now. It is their new Pope. We got a trade deal-ish with the UK. Good. We had a trade surplus, right, with the UK?
Yeah, we have. We've had a surplus for the past years. I don't know how many years we've had it. I think the only thing that this thing does is it takes away the tariffs on aluminum and steel.
Okay.
But there's still 10%. I'd have to go back and look at what Lutnick said.
Yeah, so...
and apparently UK is going to increase the amount of agriculture they get from us.
Oh, that's nice. That's a good thing. It's... again, I don't know how much... living in as long as I did in Britain, I will tell you, like, what do we have? Our cars couldn't fit on their streets.
I was getting ready to say... I don't see, like, Murphy's truck.
No,
Murphy's
God,
got a beast of a truck.
No. I mean, I drove a Ford Fiesta. Yeah. Oh, you guys want to hear the worst car I've ever driven in my life? So when I first went over there and I was playing soccer for Aldershot, we were sponsored by Lada, which I think was a Russian car company.
Yeah.
Or a Bulgarian. They were Yugoslav. I mean, it made the Yugo look like a Bentley. It was like made of cardboard. Oh, it was fantastic. So, yeah, but they're all the cars over there are tiny for the most part.
I used to drive a Ford Festiva.
Oh, yeah.
That was a little bitty car.
That was. There's a lot of those over there. Ford Festivas. That's a big deal over there. Or they call them Fiestas.
Yeah, Fiestas.
Fiestas. Mm-hmm. They call Puma. Aluminum, aluminium. Get it right, Ken. It's aluminium, mate, all right?
Aluminium.
See, this is where the English just don't understand the sense of brevity and the ability to be concise and not waste energy. We don't need the extra syllables in aluminum.
Aluminium.
Aluminum.
Aluminium.
Aluminum.
Listen here. Don't make me send my Puma in there to get you.
Don't pet my Puma.
And Nissan. It wasn't Nissan. It's Nissan.
Nissan.
Nissan and not Nissan. Schedule. Sounds very good. They spell color. They have a U in color.
You know, the one thing about the British version of English that annoys me more than anything is they don't say the university or they don't say the hospital. They just say hospital or university. It's the.
In
Stop
hospital.
it.
Yeah.
In hospital.
In hospital. You know what's too? They used to say sick. Like, Jim's in hospital. He's sick. He's critically sick or something like that. And I'm like, what happened? He got hit by a bus. That's not a sickness. A cold is a sickness.
Right.
Nobody gets, take a couple of these for your hit by a bus.
Hey, man, when you were over there, did you ride any of those triple-decker buses?
Yeah. We used to hop on them all the time because when I first moved to London in particular, my roommate and I, Kevin, the giant Scottish dude, he's huge, enormous lad, like the biggest guy you ever seen.
Yeah.
We would take tours with other tourists just to see what was around. Because we hadn't been, I'd been to London, but I'd lived outside of London the entire time I was there mostly.
Right.
And it would be hilarious. They're like, people go, where are you from? We're like, oh, we live right there. We just did want to see some of the stuff. But yeah, we used to do that all the time. We used to get on buses, like the tour buses. You just hop on them and take off. It's great.
Were there ever any crashes where they tipped over?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple where
they seem like you wouldn't be able to take very sharp curves.
That was the big thing. There's a couple where they tried to go down a ramp and turn. I remember one, and it just kind of
Yelp.
Those things are fun though. Getting on the second story, I'll tell you that.
Well, I mean, very efficient too.
They are. And you know what? That's the one thing. Their public stuff runs on time outside of their trains. Their trains are never run on time. The Virgin has their own trains. They run on time. British doesn't. But compared to us, you're not waiting around 45. Like, you ever go to a bus stop when you were a kid and you're like, okay, it says it's going to be here in 25 minutes?
Yeah.
And like 25 minutes goes by? No, when it says, you look on their thing, it'll tell you it's going to be there in 4 minutes, and they're on time. The buses are way more efficient, and underground is efficient. Their trains kind of suck. Coming up, more on the Pope. Got a bunch of other stuff, including I got some funny Ken audio. Crazy people saying crazy things.
Yes, sir.
Just for him. It's Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. All right, kids. Raycon. Get your Raycons now. Best earbuds around. You will absolutely love these. So Father's Day, not too far away. I want you to jump on these. You're going to get 15% off. You get a 30-day happiness guarantee. Fit, feel, comfort, second to none. And I, myself, love going out and working out. And one of the beauties of the Raycons is the fit and the feel, because you don't have to worry about them falling out of your ear. Dad will love that. They've got all kinds of great things at Raycon besides just these amazing earbuds. So jump on this now. Take advantage. You get a 30-day happiness guarantee by going to buyraycon.com/Chad. Remember, 8 hours of talk time, 32 hours of battery life, fast charging, multi-connectivity. You can be connected to two things at once. It's incredible what these things can do. And get that 15% off site-wide. And that includes all of their stuff, from their home products to their fast chargers to everything in between. Check it out now. Go to buyraycon.com/Chad.
All right, drivers, if you are waiting on somebody coming to Nashville east of the city, you might want to let them know there is a crash that is blocking 40 westbound right before Alexandria. That's going to be about a 50-mile drive there east of Nashville, but this is for folks coming to Nashville. Also, a crash blocking the right 2 lanes, 65 North Loop, northbound there on the Lyle A. Fulton Bridge. We have a new pope. President Trump's got another request of the U.S. Supreme Court. And get this, a murder victim's been able to speak directly to a judge. These stories coming up at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Oh, yeah, I got great audio from that, the whole thing.
This is...
creepy.
Wow, man.
Creepy is a good way to describe it. It is. And I remember it was in Arizona, and I remember the guy... It was a road rage incident, and he got shot and killed. But the whole thing, it's an interesting thing, the way that they put this together. And this is all about the victim impact statement. So we'll be talking a little bit about that. But I go and get good, fun stuff for Ken, and because I love him. And, you know, this guy's the man. And so I find great audio. Gossip guys, you guys, the patriarchy, you guys are the reason that you've made gossip bad.
Hey, this is just your reminder that the reason you were taught that gossiping was bad was because gossiping is the way that women spread information about which men are safe and which men are unsafe. So the patriarchy decided to make gossiping a bad thing and something that only bad women do, but it was really just so you didn't know which ones of them are safe.
Do you guys know that?
I did not.
Not only did I not know, I've heard that and don't think I care.
Yeah. Well, no, the patriarchy. See, Bell, that's the that's why you got to do those courses that we have to do, because you're not understanding.
Oh, that's right.
The patriarchy
those courses
that we're all forced to do. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Jan, look at you.
Hey, Jan.
Did you expose yourself to Jan? Was this right or wrong, guys?
It's like that scene in Seinfeld where Jason Alexander, what's his name? George has had sex on his office with the cleaning lady. And he's like, was that wrong? I got to plead ignorance on this one.
It's just so silly. But the patriarchy came up with why gossiping was bad, because originally it was about women talking bad about the men that were mean to them. Oh, yeah. See the way that is? Because we know that women would never gossip about other women. No. Here's
sir.
We're going to this next year, guys. Are you guys ready for FatCon?
Hi, I'm Teal. I use they, them pronouns. I am a DJ and performance artist. You can find me on Instagram with the number 4, Siempre Bruja. What brings me fat joy is... it changes depending on the day, but recently it's been picking the best outfit I can pick, and which means, okay, this is the outfit for today. And getting joy from wearing the things that somebody or a lot of people told me I could not wear because of my body.
And they were right.
What is it? Is it big spandex suit?
It is. Well, what it is she's got like a top that you used to, you know, like the 70s tie-around tops.
Oh, yeah.
And she's got her belly exposed. I wouldn't say stomach. Other women have stomach. She's got a belly. And she's wearing bright... It's one of those things where what brings her fat joy is she's like type 4 diabetes. That's what brings her fat joy.
I have never heard that term.
Yeah.
I've never heard fat joy.
Yeah, fat joy. That's a new one for everybody. Speaking of this... he's speaking, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, President Trump.
What is that?
They have already spoken to us, and we'll see what happens. But again, to have the Pope from the United States of America, that's a great honor. That's a great honor. When are you going to welcome the Pope? I'm watching, and they said he's from America. I said, that's great.
That's great. That's great. You know, it's great that he says it's a great honor. We've already been on the phone with him. We got a trade deal with the Vatican.
What he just says, I was watching it and they said he's from America. I said, that's great.
Oh, my Lord. More on, yes, the Pope. We got a new Pope, baby. His name is Leo XIV. And from America. Not South America. But America. United States of, not Canada, North America, or Mexico, America. Illinois, baby. Illinois. It's Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 99.7.
1:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Everybody in Middle Tennessee is under a level 2 out of 5 risk of severe weather. It's a little less the further north you go. Clarksville's only in a level 1 out of 5. The deal is, though, National Weather Service thinks the atmosphere is ripe enough for storms. They've issued a severe thunderstorm watch until 8 o'clock tonight. Full forecast in 5 minutes. We got a new pope. White smoke coming out of the chimney on the top of the Sistine Chapel at the Vatican. The 133 eligible cardinals voting on the successor to Pope Francis, and it's an American, originally from Chicago, Pope Leo XIV, known as Robert Francis Prevost. Here's ABC's David Muir.
There's been so much talk about whether or not there was a slim possibility that there would be an American Pope, one from the United States. He went to college at Villanova, studied mathematics. Italian media has referred to him as the least American of the Americans because of his quiet, humble way.
Right now in our nation's capital, the Trump administration's asking the Supreme Court to allow it to revoke temporary legal status to more than 500,000 immigrants that had been granted it by the Biden administration. This Biden program allowed 532,000 people from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela to live and work in the U.S. for up to 2 years. Artificial intelligence has come a long way, now to the point where a murder victim has been able to speak directly to the judge about his own killing during victim impact statements.
Christopher Pelkey was killed, shot to death in a road rage incident in Chandler, Arizona in 2021. But at his sentencing hearing for the killer, his family was able to bring Christopher back to life in voice and video to speak directly to the judge.
To Your Honor, Judge Lang.
In the AI-generated video, he even expressed forgiveness to his killer.
In another life, we probably could have been friends.
The judge was moved by what he heard and saw.
I love that AI.
The judge giving Christopher's killer over 10 years in prison. Alex Stone, ABC News.
I've got a lot of questions about that.
It is. I got some answers for you, brother. We'll talk about it a little bit.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Rain will eventually taper off tonight through our day tomorrow, then a mostly dry weekend ahead of us across the mid-state.
Berna Technologies. I want you to go check them out right now. They're in Franklin, so they're right here. And I want you to go check them out. Now, what is Berna Technologies? Imagine this. It's a pistol. They've got rifles as well. They're launchers. Less lethal, but amazing. And people ask me all the time, why do you like these things? Well, first and foremost, I can practice anywhere. Carry in all 50 states, no background checks. But how expensive it is to go out and practice, how expensive it is to go out and shoot in today's world. It is pennies on the dollar, and you get a feel like you never get anywhere else. And when you're introducing people to things, especially people who may be a little bit worried, or this is one of those things that is incredible. And I absolutely love it. Police force loves them. They use them all over the place. I want you to check them out. For 500,000 sold, and they're incredible. Call 615-558-0534, 615-558-0534. Go check them out. Go practice. You get free range with a burner launcher. Bring your CO2 cartridge. 10% off shooting right now, and it is awesome. They're open 7 days a week. Burner Technologies. Call 615-558-0534. Got a new pope. And already getting crashed, and smashed, and squished in social media. Took about an hour.
Not only is he the Antichrist, but he's like ultra liberal at that.
Yeah. My wife texted me. I said, we got an American Pope. She's all, no way. She goes, hold on. I got to go find my Revelation bingo card. Oh, my goodness. The whole thing with the AI victim impact statement. So if you guys haven't heard, there's a guy named Chris Pelkey, and I covered the story when I was in Arizona. There was a road rage incident. He was shot and killed. And when the conviction came, because there was a conviction, obviously you give the victim impact statement. So you had the brother, the sister, the whole 9 yard. So the sister and her friend thought this was something they could do. And they worked on it for a little bit, by the way, because when they started doing this, it wasn't like now where the technology is insane. Have you seen the Baby Podcast? Have you seen that? There's the thing, I think it's called Baby Podcast. You can go and any podcast, or like you see us on, the stream here, it will turn us into little babies talking about whatever we're talking about. It's hilarious. So this stuff is way better than it used to be, but they wanted to have something big and encompassing. So she and her friend worked on it for a while.
Hello. Just to be clear for everyone seeing this, I am a version of Chris Pelkey recreated through AI that uses my picture and my voice profile. I was able to be digitally regenerated to share with you today. But here is insight into who I actually was in real life. Here is a true representation of who I was, not how the courtroom portrayed me. So I would like to make my own impact statement.
So they took several pieces of his voice to try to put this together, because it's, and again, this took them a long time, because when they started doing this a couple of years ago, because there was lots of delays and all kinds of stuff, this technology wasn't what it is now. And one of the things I found interesting is she said, look, I had to think to myself, what does my brother, what would he think in this moment? I don't want to come at it as I want to punish this guy based on my views. I want to come at it in a different way. And so she put a lot of things and a lot of thought into it. And it was, again, the stuff that she thought he would say.
To Gabriel Horcasitas, the man who shot me, it is a shame we encountered each other that day in those circumstances. In another life, we probably could have been friends. I believe in forgiveness and in God who forgives. I always have, and I still do.
Which is really a good thing, I think, the way that he came at it. By the way, the judge, if I'm correct, let me see if I got it the right place.
Also moved was Chris's big brother, John.
The judge, here we go.
For that. I feel that was genuine, that his obvious forgiveness of Mr. Horcasitas reflects the character I heard about today.
And the judge was actually moved by it. Here's something else. Nobody knew that this was going to happen. So the judge didn't know. The family didn't know. Her brother had nobody knew. So they were all really, there was more than an impact on just the guy who got 13 years, and he faced a lot more time than that in the road rage incident. And he also left with a touching message for family and stuff.
To my family and everyone that I've met along the way, it was a lot of fun. I always had a lot of fun. Love each other, because you never know how long you have. But make the most of each day and live your life. It is okay to stumble. God has you. Remember, getting old is a gift that not everybody has. So embrace it and stop worrying about those wrinkles. Thank you to everyone for being here. It means more than you know. Well, I'm going to go fishing now. Love you all. See you on the other side.
That was, again, it's interesting, though, because like you said, I got a lot of questions.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. Did this, could have this made the judge, give him the max?
This made the judge, actually, because he could have given him a lot more. And because he thinks this is what Chris, based on what his sister and everybody else thought he would have wanted, that he was a big believer in Christ and he believed in forgiveness. He didn't want this moment to, take away forever from this guy. And the judge was moved by that. So it gave him 13 years instead of what he faced. He said, I believe in forgiveness and a God who forgives. Man. But the family and the people that didn't know that was going to happen. Imagine that, right? You go in there and you see your brother or whoever on the screen who you haven't seen, and it gives, that they're still there.
Yeah.
That sense. It was, she said something about this. She goes, I didn't want it to be a Frankenstein of love. And, like she didn't want it to be crazy all over the place. She wanted to be as consistent as possible when they built it out. So this is, I don't know if we'll see this in the future, but this is an interesting thing. Like you said, I think a lot of people have questions about it. There's no doubt. I totally understand it's just, that's kind of where we are in today's world. The AI is going to grow. My question is, when do you get transferred to the AI world? When does that happen? When do we get the plug-in to move your personality and who you are out of this meat suit into something else?
Yeah.
That's going to happen. You know it. You know it, kids.
Did you see the footage of the robot that went crazy and started beating its handler?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was awesome. I mean, it's happening. I mean,
yeah, man. I mean, yeah. You know what, dude? I watched, and I know this is going to sound weird, but I watched a Twilight Zone not long ago where this older
Old
couple.
or new?
It was an old one, the Rod Serling kind. And this 20-something girl started getting upset because she couldn't find any baby pictures. She couldn't find any pictures of her childhood, and she was asking her mom and dad, why don't you have these pictures of me like my friends have in their house? Turns out she's a robot. And so was the butler and the cook and all these other people. And these parents, they said, we just wanted to protect you from the world. But that's coming, man.
Yeah. Well, there's a movie out now called, is it Companion? Have you seen the trailer for it? So this guy gets this beautiful girl delivered to him in the box. And it's, he eventually tells her, because they tell him, don't ever tell them what they are. So they're already programmed to love you, to do all these things. It's your companion. And he feels guilty and eventually says, well, you're kind of like a sex bot. And she figures out how to unprogram herself, and then she goes on a rampage.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's one of the Skarsgård brothers is in a new series where he is a robot, but he is talking and he says, I reprogrammed myself. Or no, I hacked myself and now I'm this.
Yes. That's at some point, that's the fear, right? Like, especially with these robots, that it'll go ex machina on us. Or something like that, or Megan, which was really awesome. Where
that was a good. That is a great franchise.
The trailer for the new one is awesome. You got to go check that out. But they move. Are we going to get to that point? Yeah, I think we're going to get to the point a lot sooner than people realize. It's just what happens when they find out and or start talking to one another.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, and that's the thing about AI is it's constantly learning. And able to do more and more.
Yeah. Well, and, because my uncle, he deals with this stuff on a daily basis. And I've shown, Bell some of the stuff that they're working on. But he says, some of the stuff that freaks him out is the fact that there'll be two AIs and they'll start talking to themselves in languages that aren't familiar with anything we know. But it's like they're laughing at us. Like, we're coming for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody said that should not have been admissible in court. Well, because he was already convicted, this is the victim impact statements.
Yeah, it didn't determine
guilt or innocence at this point in time. Theo Vaughn and Joe Rogan, if you guys have a chance, go check out the Baby podcast, where Theo Vaughn and Joe Rogan are little babies with their headphones on chatting. It's hilarious. It is. But AI is not going anywhere. And I hope people understand that and I know a lot of people are scared. And first of all, one of the reasons that we're going to continue to pursue it is because our enemies are. So you're not going to stop at that.
Right. Well, that robot that Bell was talking about, that was a Chinese robot. And I mean, that thing, it looked like with one hit, it could kill you.
Yes. But that one was working in a factory and not happy about the wages. And the tariffs.
It was given a small fry instead of large fries.
That's right. It went angry. That was that thing went nuts. And you know what's funny is that person's trying to move away from it.
Yeah.
But there was nothing. It didn't seem like there was a handler anywhere near it. And that person didn't seem like somebody who was able to program it.
Right.
Which is, the scary part in a situation like that. Because I don't know how good. I mean, think about how good it is now. What is it like when AI started to take off? Remember the cheap fakes or whatever they were? Originally, how ridiculous they were, some of them. It's like, it's got 9 fingers on one hand, and you could always tell. Now, so hard to tell. And that, like I said, when I showed Bell that stuff that we were working on, it is, you cannot tell. You think they're real.
No, you literally do.
It's it's crazy how good this stuff is.
And it looked no different to me than as if I was watching a movie trailer for something that had a director and actors and costumers and set design. All of that stuff was, and none of it was real. It was all in the computer.
No, none of it was real. None of it. I was talking to a guy today who was a director, and he and I were chatting about Alcatraz, and I'm going to throw it up. It's a podcast. But one of the things he was talking about is the fear of AI when it comes to writing scripts. He goes, I think that's what I'm most worried about. He goes, but then I realized, I'm always in competition with other people when it comes to scripts and stuff like that. I said, yeah, I get that. But the difference is it takes you how long to write a script? It's going to take AI an hour to write 100 scripts. One of them's bound to be good. It takes you a lot longer than an hour to write a script. And that's the issue with, I think some people have with it. But it's not going anywhere, people. So get ready for it. Sit back, and worship, sit back and worship our leaders. It's not very nice, Chad. Coming up, got some questions that people are asking that I think you guys will actually enjoy answering some of these questions. The unspoken life lesson straight ahead. Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 99.7. Prize Picks. I don't know what I'm going to do with you, Bell. So rough greens. No, Prize Picks, Bell. Prize Picks. Prize Picks is amazing. Right now, you can win up 2,000 times your money every time you play what they call a lineup. So you set a lineup, and it's over-under. You pick a player. You don't pick a team. It's that simple. Do you think this guy's going to get more strikeouts in this game? And do you think this person over here is going to have more points in this basketball game? Whatever it is. You rock and roll and you win. It's that simple. It's over, under, it's more or less. But every time you play a lineup, not only do you have a chance to win 2,000 times your money, you also have a chance to win a VIP trip for 2 to the basketball championship finals. And get ready for this. Your first lineup, $5. Use my code Chad. Download the app, Prize Picks. $50, boom, into your account. Win or lose. It's that simple. Easy to play, fun to play, more or less, and tons of promos and a chance to win 2,000 times your money and that $50 bonus immediately when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be 21 to present Tennessee. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-426-2537.
All right, we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Dixon, Montgomery, Stewart, Houston, and Humphreys counties. This is going to be west of Nashville. The severe thunderstorm warning runs for about the next 35 minutes. It is near Tennessee Ridge or 7 miles southwest of Aaron, moving east at 30 miles per hour. Could see winds up to 60 miles per hour and see some hail. All of Middle Tennessee is under a severe thunderstorm watch until 8 o'clock tonight. We have a new pope. We've got a full report on that coming up at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
What is an adult problem that nobody prepared you for?
Having to figure out what I'm having for dinner for the rest of my life. Also, your car and your appliances will at the bed the second you have any money saved. That my knees and my back are going to hurt every time it rains. Accidentally ruining your entire week because you stayed up past 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. The price of paper towel.
Yep.
Oh, he's not done. This guy is hilarious.
I wouldn't call it a problem, but being excited to cancel plans. Waking up injured after doing nothing. You just slept wrong. Having to recover after extensive socializing. Spending $8.99 on a head of lettuce just to have it die in the fridge. Trying to figure out if you're just depressed or dehydrated. Having your entire body crack like a glow stick just because you stood up. The absolute betrayal of a hangover lasting 2 business days. Every new pain you feel in your body turns into a game of temporary or permanent.
Yep. Yeah.
I think everybody who gets a little older, it's, man, you ever sneezed and hurt your back?
Yes. Dude, I've reached for a coffee cup and hurt my back.
I have held something in my hands. It started to fall. I reacted to catch it, and then I couldn't walk.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually knew a guy who, I mean, he was bedridden for 3 days after sneezing. Turns out he cracked a rib.
Wow. Man, it's
And he was only in his 40s.
That's not good. So what do they say? So you feel it when you're 32, you're 44, and 60. Those are the times when you feel like that you feel a major change. But oh yeah, I have taken a nap and woken up and I can't, my arm hurts, my shoulder hurts. You know, we were joking yesterday, Belle and I, about the slip-on shoes, but man, when you were a kid, you're like, I'd never wear those. Nowadays, like, oh, those are awesome.
And that's the honest truth. I was like, I would never, ever wear those. I need laces. And now it's like, I'm not buying a pair of shoes I can't just slip into.
No. I mean, it's just, it's Velcro. Ha! Raw, those are nice. I don't bowl because I can't move my shoulder or elbow for the next month. I mean, it's insane. It is.
The whole thing about waking up injured, though, that's so true because you go to sleep and you're fine. You get up the next morning and it's like my hip won't work.
No. Oh goodness,
Gotta give my pills.
Sleeping wrong. It is just everyone, and then the cost of life, like the lettuce thing. Oh
yeah,
it's like or leftovers. Oh. Hey, would you like it to throw away? No, I want to take them home and throw them away. We have so much fruit at our house that will never be. I don't know if my wife thinking like monkeys and animals are coming over.
Well, a lot of bananas.
Oh, good. No, yeah. Oh, bananas. Oh, I love killing bananas. Those are fantastic. I love it when the head of lettuce goes soupy brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
And you have to pull the crisper drawer out to clean it.
It does.
Because it's rotted down in there.
But you know what? You buy a hamburger and you're like, I'll eat it tomorrow. And then you left it for 4 days. You'll eat it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you get some real leftovers? You ain't eating any of those things. Come on now. Coming up, hour number 3 of the program. We got a new pope, baby. Poping ain't easy in America. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
2 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. All of Middle Tennessee looking at a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. And for some of us, it might as well be a 5 out of 5 because we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now for some counties west of Nashville. We've got Dixon, Montgomery, Stewart, Houston, and Humphreys County under a severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be until 2:30. Had a severe thunderstorm moving about 30 miles per hour to the east. It is capable of winds up to 60 miles per hour, quarter-size hail, something we'll have to keep an eye on for you. By the way, this severe thunderstorm watch for all of Middle Tennessee is until 8 o'clock tonight, so this may not be the first round.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Mike Dubusky. The Catholic Church has a new leader, Pope Leo XIV. Moments ago, he addressed the thousands packed into St. Peter's Square at the Vatican, thanking his predecessor, the late Pope Francis.
Grazie a Papa Francesco.
It's an historic moment for many reasons, not the least of which is that he is the first American chosen to head the church. Formerly known as Cardinal Prevost, Leo XIV is a Chicago native. ABC News religion contributor Father James Martin says that name, Leo, bears significance as well.
Calling us back to the tradition of Catholic social teaching, every Catholic scholar and student of Catholic history will know who Leo XIII is, and so he's, in a sense, I would think, he's aligning himself with that great tradition of Catholic social teaching.
President Trump now weighing in, posting on social media, what excitement and what a great honor for our country. You're listening to ABC News.
Here in Tennessee, a 3-hour meeting last night among some Metro Council members angry over the ongoing illegal immigration roundup involving the Tennessee Highway Patrol and Immigration and Customs Enforcement. These Metro Council members say the Department of Emergency Communications failed to carry out one of Mayor O'Connell's executive orders, which requires the mayor's office be notified of any pending ICE actions in the city, and they want a safety plan in place in the next 30 days. President Trump's unveiled a trade deal with the UK that cuts U.S. tariffs and UK cars to 10% and eliminates tariffs on steel and aluminum. Here's Prime Minister Keir Starmer. He seems happy.
This is going to boost trade between and across our countries. It's going to not only protect jobs but create jobs, opening market access.
Trump says the UK is going to take in more U.S. agriculture. And the FBI in Albany has opened a formal investigation into New York Attorney General Letitia James' alleged mortgage fraud. James has cast the allegations as baseless. Last month, her office hired well-known criminal defense attorney Abby Lowell to represent her personally in the matter. But she says no taxpayer dollars will go to pay the fees. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Somebody did get some audio inside of the conclave when they decided to pick this guy. Sound like this. America! So this is it. We got an American Pope. Leo means lion. Rawr. 69-year-old. And so I don't know what it means. He seems to be more of a centrist, not as left-leaning, but it depends. You can go on the internet and find out that he is himself an abortionist. Anti-white was earlier. That was the great, super anti-white, according to some people out there.
These things through a...
He's so white he hates himself.
He hates himself.
That's right. That's why he changed his name to Leo. So, here's what I know. I don't know anything about the guy. He went to Villanova. He got his in math. I think one of the reasons they may have picked him is he's got from what I can see, because of he's got a degree in mathematician. He's a mathematician, essentially. That was what he's training to be before he decided to go and to become, a priest. And finances is an issue with the church because of the stuff.
Because of all the payouts.
Because of all the payouts. That's a lot of payouts. And so did
he play basketball for Villanova?
He did not.
Oh, that's too bad.
He did not. No, he didn't. So Leo's what he went with, the 14th. So that's a good one. That was better. I'm glad he didn't do I hope they have a say in the name. And from what I understand, the way that they work it with the names is you're picking a name that represents the way that you kind of want to lead and the way that you kind of want to go in your reign as Pope. So we'll see. I mean, good for him. Chicago's excited. Finally, good news.
People are pouring to the security points to get into the square, running. Almost like with the enthusiasm of a championship sporting event or
championship. It's what it was like. The insanity. That's the one. Like we were talking about earlier. Like all of us here. I've never seen anything like this because you're electing a pope, and again, 1.4 billion Catholics in the world, but there's a lot of people on the planet who aren't Catholic, but still. Traveling somewhere to see somebody get elected that you don't even see get elected is fascinating. And then he comes out and he does his stuff. He's like, hello, everybody. It's me, the Pope. I don't think he said that, though. That would have been funny. What?
Actually, I'm pretty sure that's a direct quote.
So somebody said, man, Villanova with a couple B-ball championships. Oh, my goodness. It's 69 years old. They don't want to. There's no age restriction outside of over 80. They don't even let you vote, right? Because they don't think you should be Pope.
At that point, they assume you have dementia.
Yeah. You're like, hey, you're old enough to be the president. Speaking of that, did you guys see who was on The View today?
Yeah.
Biden?
Joe Biden. Let's hear what he had to say. These are random, hilarious picks.
Yeah. Well, when was the last time you spoke with the vice president, and has she talked to you about what she wants to do next? Sought any advice? Maybe governor?
Yesterday, I talk to her frequently. We stay in touch, number one. Number two, she's sought my opinion. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
What to wear?
Because I forgot.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. No, but all kidding aside, she's got a difficult decision to make about what she's going to do.
Yeah.
I hope she stays fully engaged. I think she's first rate. But we have a lot of really good candidates as well. So I'm optimistic. I'm not pessimistic about it.
Well, good for you. You're optimistic, not pessimistic.
That was a profound statement there.
Yeah. That's better than he sounded in a long time.
Aren't you automatically optimistic if you're not pessimistic?
No, I think you could be fair to middling.
Okay.
You could be neutral.
That's fair.
You could be I'm a sit and wait kind of guy.
Knowing what you know now, do you think you would have beat him?
Yeah, he still got 7 million fewer votes.
Yes.
Well, how many million less did they get?
Yeah.
Just out of, because the thing is,
how many did Joe get?
Yeah.
This time around.
And by the way, Joe, I go back to this. You got no votes. You got votes of people who didn't want the other guy. Those are the votes you got.
Okay. A lot of people didn't show up. Number one. Number two, they're very close in those toss-up states. Very close in the toss-up states.
She almost won the toss-up states.
She almost did, except for the part.
She almost did, except for the part where she didn't.
You know where almost counts? Nuclear war.
Yeah.
And horseshoes.
Yeah. Well, Mr. President, some have even argued that leaving the race and endorsing your Vice President Harris.
Which Ken and I fully agree. He did that on purpose.
Absolutely, dude.
He was so pissed and angry. He got out in front of Obama and everybody, was hoping to have a conversation where they could get an open primary and see what happens inside a contested convention. And he's like, watch me do horrible things right here for them.
This is called a monkey wrench. Catch.
Yeah. Obama didn't say a word for 8 days.
Yeah, he was not happy. It was totally worth it.
Over 100 days before the election hampered her campaign.
Well,
what do you say to those critics?
I say, number one, that there were still 6 full months. She was in every aspect, every decision I made, every decision we made. And I don't think, I hope I don't sound the wrong way. I don't think anybody thought we'd be successful as we were. I don't think anybody thought we'd pass the Recovery Act. I don't think anybody thought we'd deal with CHIPS and Science Act. I don't think anybody think we'd have all we got done in a close race. Think about it.
Yeah.
We got more major legislation passed to fundamentally change the direction of the country than any president has in a long, long time.
Decades.
And so we're in a situation where we came to office and we agreed on 2 things. One, I was sick and tired of trickle-down economics. And my dad used to say, not a whole lot trickle down on his kitchen table. And so we built the economy from the middle out and the bottom up. The strongest economy in the world when we left. That's not hyperbole. That's a fact.
Yeah, it was the strongest economy in the world, but, that's like being the tallest midget.
I got Brother Bell.
That was beautiful. That was a perfect analogy.
Yeah. So you guys see where I'm going with this? We were better than everybody else who was having a disaster.
Yeah.
You know what? Everybody, by the way, always likes an infrastructure bill because everybody, right or left, loves the fact that they can bring something back to their people and say, look what we did. We got an infrastructure bill. All these great jobs are coming to you. Still waiting for some of those electric car things to be built. Yeah, none of that stuff happened the way you thought. And let's not forget, inflation wasn't transitory. And those are things that's on your watch. And you didn't bring up, oh, by the way, you allowed 12 to 15 million people into our country with just unfettered access to our borders like it was Disneyland. And it was free. And they came in.
He is a dementia-addled clown.
I would say that's a good name for a band. Can you have that as a dementia-addled clown?
Yeah, but I own it.
Okay, there you go. There you go. So, did he say deal? No, he did the CHIPS Act, which I like the CHIPS Act. I thought it was good, but Trump has put that on steroids. Now you got to make sure that everybody comes good with the money but still, that's much better than what he did. So, look, you can sit here and talk about all the stuff that you did, right? Oh, look at all these great things you did. Time's going to tell, but so far, time wasn't kind on your side while you were there. And if it was so good, the way that you talked about it, she would have won. The number one thing, though, the expense of life, which is always the economy, as we always talk about, and the border. Those are it. They changed jockeys, if you will, the minute they had a chance, and they were going to change it whether you stayed or not. Hell, if both of you were to run for president, you could add, like, you get 2 presidents, we're going to get 2 new vice presidents, you could be Kamala and me, or Trump. They were still taking Trump. Because the way that you governed was as divisive as anything. I still go back to, talking about Bull Connors and all that kind of stuff that was absolutely ridiculous. I would like a hip. By the way, so many people are chiming in about their stories of how they broke their back by sneezing, how they dislocated something.
I gave myself a concussion when I sneezed.
My head fell off. That was Bell. So, except getting into Disneyland is harder. Oh, boy, and more expensive. We're going to talk about that. Wait till you guys hear about this dude took a one-day trip with his family to Disneyland, and he put it on the interwebs. And, I always say this. I don't know how people do it. And it's the average person. And I'm going to tell everything about the trickle-down economics. Corporations are going to do everything they can to make as much money as possible, and if they employ a bunch of people, that's a good thing, okay? Is it what everybody wants? No. Is it the middle class the way we used to have it? No, it's not. But government has trickle-down economics as well. And they can do that at the, at the point of a gun. And that, to me, I always laugh. So you're not fine with free market trickle-down economics, which you're also, by the way, a huge corporate crony person. And you're fine with trickle-down economics as long as it comes from government, which I've never understood. You're
hard-pressed to find a more incompetent organization in the history of the world.
I know a guy who flipped his truck while sneezing.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine filling out that insurance report?
That is crazy.
I was changing my mind and my back went out.
Oh.
Have you guys had to do this before? Whenever you're backing into a parking spot, you've got to turn the stereo down?
Yes.
I do it. And then I think, why does that matter?
Or when you're looking at you're like, okay, you're looking at the street. I'm on the right street.
Yeah.
Hold on, turn the stereo down so I can.
Yeah.
It's like, hey kids, turn the stereo down. You smell that?
It's like the scene in Ghostbusters in the opening scene where Dan Aykroyd goes, "Listen, do you smell that?"
That's so true. I'm going to turn the stereo down. I'm going to turn the stereo. Have you seen that guy on, I think it's everywhere. It's Reels. The car crashes and it flips upside down and it lands. And, I mean, it's a really nasty crash. And then AC/DC comes on and he's got his glasses on and he turns over and he just turns the stereo up as he's hanging upside down.
Well, hey, at that point, you might as well do something to relax.
That guy wins. Oh, my goodness. Some cars nowadays turn the volume down automatically.
I got to get one of those.
Oh, goodness. Well, yeah, they've also got cars now that'll back in for you.
Oh, yes.
I have no idea how I ever functioned in a car without a backup camera. I can't drive without a backup camera
I don't
anymore.
Trust it. I can't do it, man. I still put my arm out here and
you
I
put
look
your
behind
arm
me.
over to the right.
Yes.
Yes. Hey, have you ever driven, you slow down really fast and you reach your hand over to stop? You know, my wife does that. You know, I'll do that. My wife does that to me sometimes when she drives. Just in case I'm going to move forward and hit the dashboard. I'm like, honey, I would rip your arm off if there was something that bad.
I can't trust that. I just don't. There's something about it. I've got to physically look behind me. I can't just look at the camera.
Man. Look at that. Ken doesn't trust technology. We knew it was happening, kids. We knew it was happening. Coming up, a lot of stuff still. Talk a little bit more about the Pope. We got some fun. I want to talk about this Disneyland thing because life is expensive, people. And, oh, boy, is it good. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk, 99.7. Rough Greens, ruffgreens.com. Vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega-3, 6, 9, all this incredible stuff. It's a supplement you can give your dog. 1 scoop a day keeps the vet away, and it's awesome. I want you to try a Jumpstart trial bag of Rough Greens today. It's not going to cost you anything but shipping. It's a few bucks. Now, when you do that, that's going to last you a bit, but take the 90-day challenge. And over the next 90 days, you're going to see the first 30 days shinier coat, more energy. By day 60, digestive tract is going to be strong, immune system strong, and you're going to see more mobility because the aches and the pains of joints are going to start to dissipate. What? Why? Live enzymes inside of that 1 scoop a day. And by day 90, heart health improve, energy levels through the roof. The skin, the fur, the beauty of the fur is you're going to stop seeing clumps fall out, especially your dog's older. It's just awesome. Try a Jumpstart trial bag of Rough Greens today and get a free Jumpstart trial bag. It's a $20 value. All you have to do is cover the cost of shipping and take that 90-day challenge. I love my dogs. You probably love yours. Try this now. Roughgreens.com/Chad. Use code Chad. Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating and Cooling wants you to know that the TVA rebates have been extended. So the mini split, 17C or 2 or higher, $800 rebate. Get up to 12 months, no payment, no interest, depending on credit and lenders. Offers may vary. Busy Bee also has rebates on AC tune-ups, a $50 rebate for each one. So let's just say you join the Beehive Club because, it's what you do. So you get your spring tune-up, that's a $50 rebate. And then you get your fall tune-up, that's a $50 rebate. Then voila! You've just paid for your Beehive membership for a year. Plus, get this. Busy Bee does all the work for you. They file the rebates for you, so you don't have to do that. Here's some other great deals. 30% off ultraviolet home treatment, $300 off the main sewer line or water line. They're going to go down and check it out for you. $500 off electric heat pump, water heater, whole home water filtration system. And when you buy one yearly Beehive membership, you get one or equal or lesser value for free. That's right. Simple. Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call 775-7833, 775-7833, or online at busybeehvac.com.
All right, we're still under that severe thunderstorm warning. Some of those counties to the west of Nashville, talking about Dixon, Montgomery, also Houston and Humphreys counties, severe thunderstorm warning until 2:30. This was a storm moving to the northeast at about 35 miles per hour, capable of 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. All of Middle Tennessee under a severe thunderstorm watch until 8, so this may not be the last round. We got a new pope, and we've got a full report on that coming up at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Poping ain't easy.
What
Just
happened?
ask Big Daddy Kane.
What happened with the T-shirts? Popin' Ain't Easy T-shirts.
Oh, you know what? I think Michael put them on the website. I'll check. Let me check, because we'll get some Popin' Ain't Easy.
What's the website?
Go to ChadBensonShow.com. And don't get mad at me like, oh, my God, I'm going to get so mad because you did Pope and stuff. No, it's, you know what? This is what the world is. We capitalize. I want Belle to have fun with some of this stuff. Just like I have Nature Will Mess You Up T-shirts, because it will. Because it will. Hey, you know what? I was thinking of you last night, Ken. First of all, I was sitting on the couch, and I took a picture of the couch. I was going to send it to Ken because, we decided that's how we're going to protest stuff. But
what the hell? You have hair in all these pictures.
I know I did. I used to, not anymore. I told you guys I grow hair, but it's annoying. I'm watching Love on the Spectrum.
Oh, yeah.
This guy, so if you guys have never seen, these are people on the autism spectrum. They're like, hey, Tanner, are you excited about your date? And then he's like, yeah. And then this is the greatest. They're all, do you have any rules for your date? And he goes, I know one thing, you can't tickle them. Why not? So that's just the best. Like, they're so innocent.
Oh yeah, man. They're very innocent. They're very nice. People.
And the great,
but they'll tell you straight up.
Yeah, that's the thing I love about them. They'll tell you straight up, like, you know what? I don't really like you. We should probably just be friends.
Right.
And they're like, okay. And that's it. Like, there's no fighting. There's none of that stuff.
It's not even there's no jealousy.
No. There's none of that. You know what, though?
There's no Pope and it ain't easy shirt on the website, but Jart in the eye. That's pretty funny.
We got a lot of stuff on the website.
Oh, the old jarts.
Jarts in the eye. Right into the what's that thing called on the money? The eye.
The bullseye?
No, on the money, the all-seeing eye at the top of the pyramid.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The Jart stuck.
And there's a big battle going on right now, Bell has on the Pope and how you spell Popin.
I spell Popin with an E because, and everybody pay attention, I spell Popin with the E because I can. How about that?
Because you can.
I can.
Popin with, how would you spell Popin, Ken?
Popin, Popin with an apostrophe.
That would be wrong.
See, I like Ken's. And then Bell was arguing with people. You don't say, well, like, what were you saying? Like, you don't say losing or whatever.
No, they were telling me that you don't spell making with an E. Like, well, I do. I can and I will.
Oh, somebody said you can't put that on a T-shirt if Popin not spelled correctly. Oh, my God.
But you know what? If I'm going to get a slice of that shirt, when it comes to the funds that come in, you spell it however you want to.
I just know you can't tickle them. I just love those. They're just so innocent and awesome. If you guys have never seen Love on the Spectrum, it is so, I just know you can't tickle them.
Just serious as he can be.
Absolutely. Just that, like, so matter of fact about it.
Yeah.
And they got their rules and they follow the rules. And it is, this one girl, Abby, she likes this guy, and he sees colors and numbers, which I find is fascinating.
Interesting.
So, and she was on Kelly Clarkson the other day. She did a song. She sang a song. I thought, that's so cool.
I'll be
with Kelly or by herself?
By herself. So, you watch some of it, though, and you think to yourself, man, some of my friends, they can't get dates, and, maybe you could go on there and pretend. I'm like,
but see, then they'll get mad because their date will be so blunt.
Oh, they are blunt. And, it's like, because if you don't know, if you've never been around people with autism, they're very blunt, and at times you think, I remember we had a kid whose dad had passed away, and he never really knew his dad, but his mom was telling me they came to school to tell him his dad had passed away, and they told him that, and he just goes, wrestling's on tonight, because it was, that he doesn't understand that. He doesn't get what that means.
Exactly.
But the bluntness in this, because they're very high functioning, most of them, it is, it's really interesting because, like Ken said, there's no jealousy, and they just tell you right off the bat. One person's like, I would never have a friend who wears shorts.
Yes.
15 minutes to Wapner.
That's exactly it. My mom had a friend from church. His name was James, sweetest guy in the world. His family died, left him a lot of money. And so he was older. He was terrified of chickens. My mother didn't realize that meant fried chicken. So when she got chicken, he ran away.
Yes.
Like, My mother's like, I had no idea. I just thought it was the living ones. I said, well, now we know.
I'd have been the exact opposite.
Oh, I was.
Should have made
I'm like-
tenders instead of fried chicken.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to have his, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. Coming up, how expensive to go to Disneyland? Wait till you hear this. We'll talk about that straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Still tracking some areas of severe thunderstorm activity, mainly to the west of Nashville, north of I-40. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning now extended until 3:15 for northern Dixon County, central Montgomery County, central Cheatham County. This severe thunderstorm, 12 miles east of Erin. It is moving east at 30 miles per hour, and it has the potential of 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. In fact, all of Middle Tennessee is under a severe thunderstorm watch until 8 o'clock tonight, so this may only be the first of many rounds. We've got a new pope. Pope Leo XIV, known as Robert Francis Prevost, was promoted to cardinal by Pope Francis and is said to share many of the philosophies of his predecessor. And let's get more.
We have to be a church that works together to build bridges and to keep our arms open, like this very piazza, welcoming.
That is the new pope being in translation. And Karen Travers, tell us what President Trump says.
President Trump posting on social media his congratulations to the new pope, Pope Leo XIV. The president writing, quote, "It is such an honor to realize he is the first American pope. What excitement and what a great honor for our country." The president says he looks forward to meeting Pope Leo and says it will be a very meaningful moment. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Well, right now in Tennessee, more reaction to the ongoing coordinated traffic enforcement operation between the Highway Patrol and Immigration and Customs Enforcement, leading to undocumented people getting detained in Nashville. After a 3-hour emergency meeting of a Metro Council committee last night, members said the Department of Emergency Communications failed to carry out one of Mayor O'Connell's executive orders that he signed last year that requires the mayor's office be notified of pending ICE operations. And the director of that department admitted it, said they don't have the protocol in place, but need to get it. One of the world's wealthiest men have announced plans to give away the rest of his fortune.
The Gates Foundation has spent $100 billion since its founding 25 years ago, and Bill Gates says it has 20 years left. He tells the AP he'll pledge 99% of his fortune to the foundation. As of today, that pledge would amount to $107 billion. Gates told the AP it's kind of thrilling to have that much to be able to put into causes. The Gates Foundation's focused on global health and U.S. education. It was originally set to close 20 years after the Microsoft founder's death. Brian Clark, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Between 1 o'clock this afternoon and 9 o'clock this evening, we'll have a few showers and thunderstorms fire up across the mid-state. Any thunderstorm could produce heavy downpours, gusty winds, potentially even some large hail. Rain will eventually taper off tonight through our day tomorrow, then a mostly dry weekend.
You know what? Rain's coming. Could there be some cracks? Could there be some issues? Could there be water in places you'd think, there's no water, but there might be? You think about your foundation. You think about your basement. You think about those things. That's where USS comes in. United Structural Systems, ready to help you. Experience? How about 30 years of it? 30,000 customers happy. And they're ready to serve you. Come on out. Check out everything. Give you an inspection. Not going to charge you anything. That's absolutely free. And they're not going to sell you anything you don't need. That's not who they are. They're simply there to help. So if you worry about mold, wood rot, and what might be coming, structural repair, don't let something small become something big. Let USS handle it for you. Call them today, 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855, or online at ussTN.com. Bulwark Capital. I want you to check out what they do. Now, if you invest, if you're in retirement, if you're worried about, can I outlive it? What about the downside? Because I do need to do something. Why don't you give Bulwark a chance to show you what they can do? First of, this is great. They're doing a tariff webinar. It's free. It is Thursday the 22nd. It is at 5:30 Pacific. And it's simple. You go to knowyourriskradio.com. You sign up for it. They're going to show you what impacts tariffs will have, not just here, but globally in the markets and how you can benefit from it. They'll show you how they invest globally, which is something that many just don't do. And they'll show you why they are the best. And they are. I love them. I swear by them. My buddy Zach Abrams, Chief Investment Officer over there, he will take care of you in a major way. So call them today, 866-779-RISK. Set up a situation where you can get a free second opinion on what's going on in your account. And then check out the webinar Thursday, the 22nd of this month. That's May 22nd at 5:30 p.m. at Bulwark Capital. So check them out. Know Your Risk Radio. Sign up today. KNOW, yourriskradio.com. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investments involve risk, not a guarantee. Past performance, not guarantee future results. Trek 25206. We got a new Pope. Leo's his name, the Lion. The 14th. Leo the Lion. Somebody said they get to pick their own name. And as we were talking about, they kind of want to emulate the name, usually who they're picking, they kind of want to emulate what that person was about. And Leo the 13th was, I think, the third longest reign as Pope and kind of moved the church in a very somewhat progressive way. But this guy is a centrist, depending on who you're talking to. Because for a lot of you out there, he is not only the Antichrist, he is as liberal as it gets. So there's fun there. Enough of that. Disneyland's expensive. You ever been to Disneyland, Bill?
I've been to Disney World, but not Disneyland.
Okay. Let me tell you what Disneyland is like. Like Disney World, exactly, but better. Because it's smaller
and bigger,
and there's no humidity. No, Disney.
Oh, that's a world is bigger than land.
When you go to Disney World, you're like, okay, this is the exact same thing, except the difference is I don't have to walk 12 miles in between rides.
Gotcha.
So, but it's expensive.
A Florida father is going viral after showing just how costly a day trip to Disney World has become.
Before we even got into the park, it cost me $30 just for parking. And even being a Florida resident, tickets for a family of 5 with one child under 10 was still $974. The rest of the family decided they want to go to dinner at downtown Disney Springs. This place was my literal hell, totaling $245.27. The grand total for our day was $1,391.91.
Yeah, that's for a day. Okay, that's not, you weren't there for 10 days. It wasn't one of those 5 days things. That's what that guy spent, like $1,400 for the day in state because he lives in Florida.
All right, you posted this video. You have more than 8 million people who have watched it. Are you surprised? And why did you decide to do this?
I kind of had a feeling it would go viral. It's very relatable. It's family friendly. Mm-hmm. Disney's always a hot topic, and we're all trying to pinch pennies. So that video was probably my therapy as I was going through the day. The kids were smiling, sometimes fighting in between the lines. My wife was having a grand old time. Meanwhile, mine was just swipe the card over and over and over. And it started with the ticket purchase, and then it ran right into the parking, and then it just was like a cash cow for the rest of the day. So I kind of had an idea that people would be able to relate to it, just maybe not so much.
Oh, boy, stop your whining. My God. Oh, boy. Does it make you tingly? It's from South Park. The expense, though, $1,400 for a day. $1,400 for a day.
To be up against sweaty people.
Yes. Yes. Sweaty people. In Florida.
Those are some pretty expensive lines to stand in.
That's the big thing right there.
Yeah, Kendall, your daddy had to work so hard. I know he's a small business owner to send your whole family to Disney. Was it worth it?
Yeah, I would say it was worth it, but it was so packed just to be there for one day for all that money we spent.
Yeah, and Dad, you tried to get the lightning passes so that you could get maybe to the front of the line for, what'd you say, 3 rides? But those were too expensive, so y'all opted out of doing that, so you had to wait in the long lines, too.
Trying to put a price tag versus value. What's it worth? The lines were so long, so we're already 1,000 deep into the park. Now we're going to drop another 400 to get lightning passes. So I don't want to say it this way, but if you do the average of cost per ride, it probably isn't really worth it. So we almost wanted to do the lightning passes, but multiply it times 5, that day would have been double the price.
That would have been like $2,800 for the day.
Man.
$2,800. But he just went with the regular old $1,400.
We do all these stories on people who can't afford their groceries and or gasoline, or at least that was under the last administration. It's gotten a little bit better. But when you hear those kinds of stories,
I like how Fox has to throw Biden right there. Oh, yeah, the last one, it was not trust me, it would have been $12,000 if it was Biden.
but when you hear those kinds of stories, it's sad that most families can't afford to do Disney.
Right. And that was a last minute decision. We're Florida residents.
Right.
We decided with some family in town that they wanted to go on vacation to Disney, so we went with them. So it wasn't even a planned trip. And unfortunately, I don't think those day trippers are what Disney wants. They want you to never leave the park. They want you there for 5 days, and they want you to drop 10 grand. So I think that one-day trip, I'm actually being punished for it.
Yeah, I could see that. Because they don't want, this portion of that is what they talk about. I will say, now, I'm very fortunate. I don't want to be you guys might be braggadocious here about how many times I've been to Disney.
How many times?
How many times do you think I've been to Disney?
I'm going to say, of course, I got the Pope voting wrong, so let's go low this time. 8.
I'm going to say 0.
I would put it probably near 1,000.
Whoa. I just thought it was it just wouldn't be your jam.
No. But, from the time I was a kid, I lived maybe 3 miles from it, 5 miles from it.
Oh, wow.
You ever cut class and go?
So all the time.
Did you?
Yeah, are you kidding me? Now, remember, so my grandma used to take my uncle and I every other Friday from the time we were kids. But that was back when they had they didn't have, you had the tickets. So what you mean is the tickets were cheap, but you had to buy the e-ride and all that stuff. So if you guys don't remember that, they had little coupons. And then every year for, I don't know, like 8 years, we had passes, and we would go every day in the summer. I would go sometimes 90 times in the summer.
Wow.
Because it was just easy to cruise over there. Because you got to the point where, I'd like to ride that ride, but you would go in there, you'd pick up chicks, it was cool. You'd see the fireworks show, and you'd ride a few rides, and, it was fun. So, and then I worked there for a little while, not doing anything, but I worked for Radio Disney doing some stuff. So that was kind of neat. But it was really weird because they make you're on stage is the way they if you're out in the park, Walt, that was always you're on stage. So you've got to look the part. You've got to be the part. There's a smile. Even if you're picking up horse crap, like that's your thing. So we went, I was probably, and then when I moved back home, I had passes for several years when I lived back in California. And I would go, again, I live in Santa Ana, not too far from there. And we'd pop over and have dinner there just because it was easy to do and it was fun. You go to downtown Disney and stuff. I'd take my nieces at the time, little brothers and sisters, and we'd all go over there. And so doing that, it was a lot of fun. But it's not like it is now. Now it's insane. The prices are ridiculous. They used to have a pass back in the day where you could buy the pass, and after 5 o'clock, it was only like $100 and you could get in for free after 5. And that's when you want to go. It's cooler. And, I don't want to wait 4 hours in line for something. There's nothing about that seems interesting. And I don't want to spend $200 to ride a ride I've ridden 1,000 times. So, and everybody's like, are you going to take Charlie? I will when I want her to be in the position, like now she would be. You don't want to take them too young because they're not going to remember it the same way. You want to make sure that they know it costs a buttload of money to get your butt here, so you better smile. $1,400. It is cheaper. If you were going to go, if your choice was to fly to Disneyland or Disney World or even drive and stay a week or fly to Euro Disney's great. It is not packed. You just wander around there aimlessly. So, but that's the cost of life. I don't know what I want to go to Dollywood. Has you guys been to Dollywood?
Nope, never have.
Really?
Never have.
Dude, I don't do amusement parks.
Went to Opryland more than once, though.
But it's not this Dollywood.
Yeah.
Well, amusement parks. Oh, but I still have. You didn't do amusement park with your kids?
When I was a kid.
No, with your kids.
Oh, with my kids?
No, you're like,
nah.
screw you guys. We're going to the fair and that's it.
Went to the fair a couple of times. Yeah.
We're going to go to the fair, and if any one of you wins a stupid goldfish, you're going to bury it.
We're going to go pet a goat, and then we're going to go home.
You're going to eat that goldfish before we leave.
Yeah, you pet a goat, right? That's the one thing.
Wash your hands.
Well, come on, it's the fair, right? Like you ride a ride that is put together by a guy who waves at you with 3 fingers and 8 teeth. That's the beauty of that. Carnies, we would call them in England. My kids. I think we're going to go to Dollywood. I want to take my my little ones because I think it'd be fun. Knott's Berry Farm was our other big jam when we were younger, and I go to Knott's Scary Farm whenever I'm out there during that time of year, which is awesome, awesome. And what's the one? Universal Studios has their horror nights. It's incredible. So it's expensive to go to Disneyland. What we're saying. All right, coming up, Matt's going to come in here. We're going to have a laugh. We're going to hug each other. It's going to be awesome. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Oh, my Lord, we got an American as the Pope of the United States of the world. Matt Murphy.
Hello, Chad. I made a few calls and American Pope. There it is.
There it is. He owes me. Bob.
There it is.
Bob. No, Bob.
I called the big guy, and by the big guy, I'm talking about the really big guy. You know, the huge guy, the big one. He's in the clouds. He was on the harp. I said, big guy.
He wrote a book. I wrote a book. We can debate which one's better.
The phrase isn't God loves Italy. It's God bless America.
Oh, so we got an American, Chicago. And there you go. So we're happy about that.
I was hoping he'd go for like Pope Ditka.
I was waiting for him to come out and go, I'm super excited about this year and the Bears winning it all. But instead he came out and goes, He came out and he's all, ciao, 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 and then Latin stuff.
Yeah, I'm a little upset. I mean, what's up with that?
Yeah,
we speak American.
Yeah, we speak American.
Tell him about Pope Hilarious.
Yeah, there was a Pope. So all the names I was going through, there was a Pope Hilarious.
Was there?
Yeah.
There was a lot of Bonifaces.
Yeah, a lot of them. And a Pope Innocent, which, by the way, if you go and look, he was the least innocent of them all.
I did. I went over some of the older popes. We were just randomly, I would get Chris Webber to name a number, and I would go and see what that pope did. And like, give me a number, 33, and we go to the Pope, 33rd Pope. And
so Pope Hilarious, it's probably Hilaria, but it's Hilarius. Was the saintret paint of hilarity. No.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's
a jovial guy.
Yeah, he was funny. That guy. That would be mine. Pope. It's not called Hilarious. Oh, it is for me. It is.
I upset the Catholics last night.
I did yesterday. And today. I upset a lot of people yesterday and today.
I just, and the reason is, look, I'm not knocking it. I understand that it's very, very important to a lot of people of Catholic faith, and I get that, but I'm not of Catholic faith. So when I say it doesn't, I mean, I care, I guess, in the sense that I understand history, and I understand that this has only happened 266 other times.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't guess that's a big deal. Right? And, and the first time for America. So, I mean, that's cool, and that's all well and good. I mean, but I don't follow the Catholic faith. So, I mean, my level of ability to care only extends so far.
No, I can understand that.
You're going to hell.
Right. So, I mean, or purgatory, or do they do that anymore? I don't think they do purgatory.
I'm not quite sure what's going on anymore with them. So, it's all in Latin. So,
and what was interesting to me is that people decided that they were mad at me, and I said, I'm ignorant. I promise you, I don't know what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about the Catholic Church, I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No idea what I'm talking about, and they were angry at me.
Of course, they were angry at me yesterday because I didn't hate enough. So, welcome to the world that we live in. Everybody's angry. Like today, I went online just to see what they're saying about the new Pope. Oh, he's the worst person ever.
Isn't that just online?
No, but it's all these influencers.
I would suggest that any subject in the history of subjects since social media has been created, I can go and I can find you people that hate whatever.
Well, it's this weird world of like the Pope hasn't been Pope for 2 minutes, and already he's like, J.D. Vance killed this Pope so we can usher in this Pope, which ushers in the Antichrist.
Oh, is this Pope the Antichrist?
I have no idea.
Is he?
No, that's what some people say.
Wasn't Benedict the Antichrist?
They're all the Antichrist. You can go back and look. Somebody's somewhere screaming. If it's not online, it was in the town square.
Right. Because I think Benedict was the Antichrist because he was from Germany or something like that.
Yes. So there's been a lot of Antichrist.
Yeah, so that's all. I mean, and some people of religious faith believe that the entire Catholic Church is
the Antichrist.
So, I mean, I understand that. So I'm not here to cast aspersions.
You are.
I say that because people got mad at me for saying cast aspersions yesterday, too.
Oh, really?
Yes, I don't.
Well, geez, man. You
I say it a lot. Yeah. Apparently.
I know.
We all have our hooks.
I love the fact that, we talk for a living all day. It's like, excuse me, I talk for 14 hours a day. If I get something wrong, you'll have to forgive me. Oh, well. Let's count yours.
Well, I'm not getting this wrong. So I think today on the show, I think that I am fairly convinced that I can make a compelling case that several Metro councilors in the city of Nashville and possibly even the mayor of Nashville are violating the law, violating federal law.
How?
By aiding and abetting illegal aliens. They're actively following ICE vans. Metro councilors are actively following ICE vans and putting it out on Instagram Live and alerting individuals where ICE vans are. And I would make the case that that's endangering immigration and customs enforcement.
Now, yeah, I've Again,
And I think that, and I don't understand why more people aren't saying, hey, you don't need to be doing this. But everyone in the city seems to be taking up the position of, oh, this is horrible, this is awful, this is disrupting families. And I understand that you can take that position and still understand the law, right? I do think it's horrible and it's awful, especially for people that have been here 15 or 20 years and were convinced that they got away with breaking the law. Well, there's a new sheriff in town, and they haven't gotten away with breaking the law.
Yeah.
And so, but Freddie's position and the position of the Metro Council seems to be, well, but they're good people, and they really, really needed to get out of their countries. But that's not a legal position to take.
No,
But,
it's not.
anyway.
It's good. Yesterday when I had Afton on, and the reality is, as I've said on several occasions, but apparently not loud enough. Great that you think all of these things, but these people are still here illegally,
right?
And that, at the end of the day, that's what it is. They're still here illegally, so they must face. And they all recognize. You ask somebody, they all recognize at some point in time somebody could knock at the door.
Yeah, they do. And there was a counselor whose name escapes me right now. I've got it written down. Who said last night on Fox 17 that no one is illegal, no human being is illegal.
One of those.
Yeah.
One of those.
So, well, what does that mean? And of course, you try to get these folks on to ask them, I mean, what does that mean? I don't understand what that means. So you mean anybody that's in America gets to stay in America no matter who they are?
Yeah, they'll change the rules as they go. Like I was telling Ken today, but we're in such a contrarian world where if Trump came out today and said, I'm going to embrace all these people that are here illegally, tomorrow the Democrats would come up and go, you know what? We got to start building a wall and kicking them out. That's the world that we live in, and it's
the Democrats' policy right now is, what is he saying? Say something else.
Yeah, by the way, shout out to Chris Hand, who had the best name for the Pope, which was?
What was his name?
Pope John Wayne.
Pope John Wayne, yeah, American Pope.
That's right,
Pope
Chris
John
Hand,
Wayne.
ladies and gentlemen.
He did do that.
Matt Murphy, straight ahead. Chad Benson Show.